Today?
Just a little bit.
Today, I get ready for the show, which I got to get up like 3 o'clock in the morning because there's a lot to prepare for. And then I finish up, and then I had some yard work to do real quick. And then it's like, I'm going to watch the second half of Kentucky against Santa Clara, Jay. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
What an unbelievable finish. You run out of things to say because all the March Madness finishes, they're crazy, they're wild, never seen anything like it, but I've never seen anything quite like that.
It normally happens that way this time of year, right?
Yeah, cliche. I guess so.
Yeah, it's pretty cliche.
Santa Clara, they're battling. Wow, they're going to upset Kentucky, and they sink a three with about 3 seconds left for a 3-point win. And as they're probably celebrating and processing the fact that, wow, I think we just won this game, Otega Owa comes down, gets the inbounds pass, dribbles across half court, lets it fly with, 3/10 left. Good, and we're going to overtime, and Kentucky wins in overtime. Wow.
Man, I had Santa Clara.
See, now I didn't have a bracket. So
well,
I was
I'm not talking about bracket. I just had Santa Clara.
Yeah, well, I did too. I'm with you on that.
There you go, baby. We ride for Northern California.
Yeah, that would have been one of the most memorable moments perhaps in tournament history. It wasn't to be, but Jay, here's the thing. Let's get down to it. I know you're good friends with Coach Christie. And I've seen somebody, right away, kind of a knee-jerk reaction on social media. Oh, they should have fouled. What do you think? Oh, Santa Clara should have fouled on the inbounds.
No, not at all. Because, first of all, Coach Sendek was already calling for a timeout, so he had to play. Him and his staff were already on top of it. And the second part of it is if you've never been in that situation, it's definitely easier said than done, right? You've been on the sideline, you've played, you understand that. The other part of it, too, is if you're counting for a half-court shot to go in, there's a high percentage. We know what happens, but it's a high percentage that it doesn't. It went in, took a loss. It came off the glass. It wasn't,
you're right.
It was luck.
I'm with you.
Luck.
I'm with you. I don't know how much we're going to agree today, but I agree with you on this one.
All right.
One of my first thoughts was, well, should they have fouled there? But the thing is on that, the guy's going to throw one up at some point. The last thing you want to do is reach for him just as easy, and give him 3 free throws. You don't know when he's going to pull up. True. And then, like you said, the thing is, if he wants to throw one up from 50 feet, we're good with those odds.
Good luck.
He banked it in. So tremendous game for him. And nice game. And I know a lot of people are happy that Kentucky survived in their brackets. I was just sorry to see, 2 of our Northern California teams go here 2 days in a row.
Room for Santa Clara. Kentucky's a blue blood, as they like to say, right? So if they win, who cares? Move on. They'll be smacked around later in the tournament, even if they get by, in the 32, the round of 32. But, you just always look for the underdog, the small school, especially when we're talking about California.
Exactly.
Minus St. Mary's. But, everybody else, we're good to go.
Especially with college basketball on the left coast so jacked up by all the conference realignment and everything with where's our Pac-12 teams? So, it's really pulling for that.
I know.
Yeah.
True.
And, we saw St. Mary's lose yesterday, and I appreciate the tip from JR who said everybody on the team is sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, I wouldn't pick them anyway, even if they were all healthy. I was already going the opposite side.
You and Alan both have kind of a bone to pick with.
I don't. I just kind of ride Alan's coattails a little bit. But St. Mary's, we beat them my senior year, so I have nothing to. We jumped on their back, I think 3 out of 4 times for a weekend tournament. But
was that here or was that?
That was in St. Mary's, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so
in Moraga.
Moraga.
Yeah.
But I have nothing against them, but they are a little smug. A little smug up there.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
And I want to make sure I have the story right, and Alan's not here to explain it to us. So he was from the area, the general area, but they weren't interested in him, huh? And he had to go. He was hoping to play there, and they just didn't have it.
And they should have been. I mean, we have a age gap, but see, Alan came out of high school, 07, 08, 09?
Something around there,
right?
yeah. Because I know he was playing that semi-pro ball around 2010.
So something around there. My senior year was 06, 07. Or excuse me, 06, 07. I mean, their team wasn't that good. Let's just put it that way. They definitely could have used Allen.
Yeah. And the Kings could have used Allen last night. They could have used anybody as they fell to Of course, the Philadelphia 76ers, I guess it's good that they lost in the long run. Kings fall, but Maxime Raynaud standing tall, Jay. The big fella with another 30-point game. Only 4 rebounds to assist, but Maxime Raynaud is turning some heads around the association.
Seems to be. He's pretty much close to being a lock of first-team all-rookie for me. I think he's been one of the bright spots for the Sacramento Kings throughout the season. He continues to get better. I've seen over the last couple of games a lot of people kind of earmarking his three-point shot and, him getting it up. And how he's hitting it at a decent percentage. I was going to say it's interesting because you talk about like a little giddy up in the hitch, right? The little hitch in the giddy up, rather, excuse me. He kind of he swings it from right to left, kind of shoots it inside out, what I like to call it. But it's slow developing, but it goes in.
Yeah.
It truly do. And I always go back to this, and I won't say who it was, but I had an opportunity to speak to a couple of scouts at the time when Brandon Pajemski was coming out here in Sacramento.
Speaking of Santa Clara.
And a couple of the guys, coaches that worked him out were a little like, his shot is a little slow developing. I'm not sure how he's going to get that shot off in the NBA. And I remember having that discussion thinking, yeah, this ain't 1992. These cats are wide open. Mm-hmm. And the other part about it is the game has been created to shoot three-point shots. He's going to get it off.
Yeah.
You don't have defenders like Doug Christie that much in the NBA anymore. There are very few of them are walking around. And so I'm like, he's going to get it off. And, he's a pretty good three-point shooter, if not a great three-point shooter, depending on who you speak to. And so you're seeing that with Maxime Raynaud.
Yeah, I think his three-point shot, it's a little bit unorthodox, but he's shooting it with so much more confidence than he was earlier in the year. Earlier in the year, it seemed like kind of, there was a reluctance, and now he's letting it fly. And I'm glad you mentioned that because as we've discussed and as we'll discuss with the likes of Jerry Reynolds, who joins us today at 5 o'clock, it is difficult sometimes to truly evaluate what a player is doing numbers-wise when they're doing it against bad teams in an environment where not everybody's trying to win. And that's not the player's fault. That's not Maxime Raynaud's fault. And it's certainly not a bad thing, of course, when he throws up 30. But it's hard to know, well, how would that translate? But the thing is, and you made the point, Jay, when you're hitting 3 or 4 three-pointers, the three-point line is where the three-point line is, regardless of who you're playing or what the score is or what your lottery odds are. And he's shooting it very well right now. And given that early in the year, it seemed like, I'm not shooting that well. Don't worry about it. And it's a clear sign of how he has evolved and grown during the year. And that's really encouraging.
Yeah. I mean, he, if nothing else, and I saw something, a press conference piece, I believe it was from last night's game of Ace Bailey. Somebody asked him about next year, and he's like, look, I'm trying to get through this year.
Yeah.
Trying to finish it out. And he's like, I just asked somebody in the 70 games. And it's like, wow, we're pretty close to the end. And I say that in the form of, I think Ace Bailey has had an up and down rookie year. If you would have told me coming into the season, I thought he'd be one of the better rookies because I think he's a difficult shot maker, and he's long. Same thing with Max. I'll say this. Coming into it, I thought he was slow of foot, a little less athletic than he has proven to be. And all that said, I think he is progressing throughout the year as far as he's not declining. He seems to be getting better.
Yeah.
And seem to be, becoming acclimated to the game of the NBA. And so I think they found something. I know they found something. Sky's the limit.
Mm-hmm. And how about a nice game as well for your guy in mind, Jay? Daquan Plowden had 20 points last night, had 4 of 8 three-pointers. And it's interesting. I think it was last time we had Jerry on, and I believe Alan asked him about, maybe you asked him, about Daquan Plowden. What do you think of Daquan Plowden? Is he an NBA player or just a guy playing in the NBA? And Jerry said, he's kind of opened my eyes. I'm changing my mind about Daquan Plowden. He's a legit shooter.
Yeah, he's a little long, a little athletic, kind of does a little bit of everything on the floor. Mm-hmm. Maybe not great at one skill, but he's a Swiss Army knife. He's kind of a Gary Payton II. I know Gary Payton II, a lot of people think his superpower is defense, right? But I think DQ kind of reminds me, kind of built like him at the same situation. I think he's a little taller than GP2, but I like what DQ brings to the table when you're talking about filling out your roster in the end of your bench or the middle of your bench. I think he's right there.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that Maxime Raynaud is somebody that can be a starting center for the Kings, perhaps as soon as next year. Getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, but, they got to sort this stuff out eventually. If you got Domas coming back and you don't move him, well, what are you going to do? Maybe you try to play both of them together, but have you seen enough to think that maybe, obviously you don't necessarily have to commit to it right now, but is it possible Maxime Raynaud is the center of the future for the Kings?
Yeah, I prefer that. I'm not sure next year, but I prefer the center of the future. Because I think you still have to show all due respect to what Domantas Sabonis is doing in the Kings jersey. So if you're asking me right now who's my starting center next year, if you want to give me Max, then Domantas has got to play power forward. If he's on the team. And I'm just moving and grooving as if, he's going to be a part of the team. Now, if he's not, we'll have that conversation when that comes across the bridge. But I'm not going to continue to disrespect some of these veterans that's around here who's still rocking and rolling. No matter if you like them or you dislike them, they still here. So you got to maneuver as if they're here, especially guys who look to be on the team next year, which Domantas Sabonis for me looks to be on there. So I would say I'll take him as a starting center, but Domas is probably going to have to be right next to him.
Yeah.
Now, that's the creation conversation we need to have. Can they both play together?
We've seen a little bit of it. Maybe. I think you're giving up a lot potentially defensively there. The whole thing with Max that he didn't defend the rim in college, and then his coach, he came on our show. He was on every show that wanted him on, to his credit. He said, well, we didn't want him defending the rim. We didn't want him in foul trouble. Okay, but how about at the NBA level? So that's the big question with Maxime Raynaud right now. And he's ahead of the game already. He's the steal of the draft. A lot of people are saying that. Jay, I don't have any problem saying that. Steal of the draft. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at 42, 30 points, back-to-back games. But there's still questions about how good he's going to be if he's going to be your starting center. And I think if you have Maxime and you add Domas, there's some issues defensively there. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. It's just fun.
We're doing too much.
But it's fun, Jay. It's more fun to start thinking about that than look at, wow, they lost last night. They're 18-53.
Yeah, agreed. I totally understand. And it's refreshing to have a different variation of the conversation of, we're talking about the same stuff over and over, right? Which is the Russ or DeMar going to be here next year.
That's because every time Alan and I start to talk about something else, Jay's like, you need to talk about the Kings.
Yeah, that's me. Definitely. Keep your eye on me.
Let's go. Back to the Kings.
I would say Max has done a lot for his reputation already early on in his career. We'll see how it progresses next year and 2 years and 3 years. But if we're speaking currently, I think he has done a heck of a job when it comes to showcasing his talents to the best of his ability. We'll see how he progresses. I don't know if he's ever going to be Jokic. I know we like to, prognosticate down the road. I don't know if he's going to be Zubac. But I know he's a ball player. And right now, that's why I'm good with that.
You know me, Jay, old school, little tough love. The guy's playing out of his mind. He's a real success story, for the organization. But after last night, I don't want the youngster feeling too good about himself, even though I'm very thrilled with him. But
bringing him down a peg?
Well, if it comes time to talk to him or he asks me anything about his game last night, I'm like, don't talk to me. You have 4 rebounds. Don't even talk to me.
Is this Coach Stretchy B talking?
That is, yeah. And look, like I said, deep down, I was like, oh, you're great. Everything about it, you're just great. We couldn't be happier. But I don't want to tell him that, Jay. I was like, 4 rebounds? How are you even looking me in the face when you had 4 How tall are you? 4 rebounds. So, that might be my way of trying to encourage him to not get satisfied with 30-point games.
Sound like you've coached before. You got to learn how to press everybody's button, right? Some people react differently.
I was fortunate to coach some very talented 8th grade girls, and that's not the type of approach I would recommend for that.
There's a different variation you would attack it with?
Yeah. We had a young lady once that we're up 1, and we have the ball, and there's like 18 seconds left, and she runs down court and throws up a 3. And the other team gets the ball, they come down, they miss. I think I might have told you. I was going to bench her, and my daughter was assistant coach. She goes, Dad, you can't do that, Dad. I was so mad. Like, she's sitting down the next game. It was a tournament, so we had a game like that night or something. Dad, you can't do that.
You can make her sit for a quarter or something, though, can't you?
Yeah. We got the ball in the lead, and the clock is short. You're throwing up a three.
Fired up, yeah.
Dad, no, you can't do that.
Was this pre-Steph Curry? This was pre-Steph Curry, right?
It was actually.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
So it wasn't just Steph Curry and Klay Thompson who changed the three-point game.
That's right.
Yeah, it was that young lady.
That's right. That's right.
At that middle school.
So that, sometimes assistants, they're good to have around.
They are.
Yeah. So the top 4 picks, Jay, figure to be in some order: AJ, Darren Peterson, Cam, Caleb Wilson. 2 of them are already out of the tournament. North Carolina.
Yeah.
Took one in the shorts last night.
Didn't surprise me.
Whatever that means.
UNC, yeah. I mean, it didn't surprise me.
I wish I could wear different shorts.
The BYU, not surprising, but I was surprised that the way they lost. And we know this. We have been following AJ DeBonta since the moment he moved to Utah to an academy to go to BYU. We knew BYU was going to be the pick for a while. I thought they just could have did a little bit more, but they've struggled down the stretch. AJ has definitely been putting a weighted vest on and carrying them, a lot of the season, if not all the season, but definitely the second half, the back half of the season. AJ came out, did what he was supposed to do. I think he is, if nothing else, verified that he should be the number 1 pick, unless the dude is 5'9" all of a sudden and he's been wearing stilts and we don't know. He should be the number 1 pick. I don't think there's in question. But the way BYU lost, surprising, but not surprised that they lost.
This is a little surprising to me. Obviously, as we said, North Carolina blew I think it was a 19-point lead.
Yeah, VCU.
Yeah. And so Caleb Wilson had 12 points in 26 minutes. I know he's been hurt. He's played a few games since he got hurt. But if one of the other top players did that, it'd be like, oh, I don't know about him. Caleb Wilson, everyone loves him no matter what he does. Like, oh, yeah, he could be a top 3 pick. It's kind of funny.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of fought through all the injuries for the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think, like you said, most people are patting him on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, man, you're doing well.
Mm-hmm. And then we talked about it yesterday, but Cam Boozer had a rough game, although his numbers were still very good. And I wonder, I know a lot of the people that write about it, and they're nice enough to come on our show from time to time. We appreciate their time. But the people that write about it are like, well, that's the first time I've really started to wonder about him. I don't know if the scouts saw anything they hadn't seen already, though, Jay.
Yeah, well, reporters, analysts, media, journalistic reporting when it comes to, some of these guys who are paid to do it. They're completely different than the scouts, the coaches, the general managers.
Yes.
It's different.
Yeah. And what really drove that home to me, and I don't want to mention the guy's name because he has been on the show and he writes good stuff and I read it all, but, when somebody like that has their blogs, and I read them all. When they say, boy, that's the first time I've really started to question this guy. So what?
Who cares, right? But that's journalists. That's their job, right?
Yeah,
especially now in this dichotomy of media. You got to, clickbait. You got to say something out of the ordinary sometime to even get a look. So I get it. Man, come on. If March 18th or 19th, excuse me, than yesterday, March 19th was the day that you started to think that Cam Boozer wasn't who you thought he was going to be, then you way behind the 8 ball. Let me tell you. At this point, these are the, back in the day, there's not too many yogurt shops now, but back in the day, I used to go to Penguin Yogurt on Florence Road, Penguin Yogurt on Mac Road, right? Go with my mom, my grandmother.
You got to go to Lickety Split on Madison.
Never heard of it.
Oh, yeah.
Lickety Split?
Yes.
Sound like you and Mrs. Gleason have frequented.
Yes, definitely.
Is it, they weigh it? Is it one of those? I hate that. I hate that, man. I don't like that. Just let me get the size cup and let me do what I want to do, and then you charge me for the toppings.
Oh, okay.
The game has changed, man.
Yeah. I didn't even know there was a different way to do it.
Yeah, of course. Back in the day, here we go.
Yeah.
At least when I was growing up in the 90s, you didn't pay by weight. You paid by the cup size. And then if you wanted to get some toppings, it's like, okay, extra 75 cents for those toppings.
Yeah.
I was a gummy bear guy.
Okay. Are there any toppings that to you are just no, verboten? Because they got everything you could think of.
Coconut. Can't stand any coconut. I'm not the biggest chocolate person, so it just depends on that. If we're talking about dark chocolate, I don't know a lot of people who like the heavy percentage of cocoa chocolate. You know, it's a higher percentage.
I put a lot of M&Ms in. A lot of M&Ms, but then they get really cold. Obviously.
Yeah, and they get hard. Yeah, I'm not an M&M person either. But unless they're peanut butter, or peanut, I like the peanut versions. But the regular ones, and bottom of the barrel candy for me, brother.
All right,
Almond Joy, you know, give me that.
We'll have to go to Lickety Split.
Yeah,
especially on these hot days.
Yes, I like it.
Jay, you got Kansas tonight. I think it's 6:45. They take on California Baptist, another California school.
Yep.
What can Darren Peterson do in this game? I mean, if he scores 35, it's like, well, of course he did, right? If he doesn't, if he scores 17, oh, what's wrong with him? Yeah. He's just got to get through this and then, play better as the opponents get better.
You know, it's an interesting question, Stretch. Can DP revive his persona in this tournament? Or I'm thinking, and I don't want to lead you to the answer. That's the first question. But my input on it is I think the thing that's going to allow him to kind of get back into the race are the workouts. I doubt he goes to any camp. You know, he's probably, at this point, we know he does things on his own pace, so I don't really see him, going to any camp or some sorts, any combine workout. But I think the workouts will allow him to kind of get back into the race for the number one or top pick. But do you think as far as tournament-wise he can revive anything?
Well, I think it depends on who we're talking about. Obviously, in the eyes of some of the people like us, yeah. But I read I think Jake Fisher was reporting today that the scouts he talks to and people from teams he talks to, he says he really hasn't seen him or Cam come down at all.
Right.
Despite all of oh no, what's wrong? He didn't want to play. So the people that are really the decision makers, according to Jake Fisher, they haven't really jumped off that bandwagon yet. Yeah. But obviously, if he doesn't play well in the tournament or fails to show or asks out of games, they probably have to consider those type of things. I think so, though. I think even the people that are all in are still waiting for a little confirmation, right? Like, oh, he's great. We love him. But you'd like to see him confirm that for us here in the tournament.
The tournament.
Yeah.
So you would be cool with the A.J. DeBonta put up 25-30, but Kansas loses. That would allow you to say, okay, cool. Or you need him to get 2-3 rounds in and have good games.
Well, that's an interesting point because, like Jerry Reynolds was saying, hey, how that team, if for a Kansas team, they're not that good.
Right.
How good is he if they're a Kansas team not that good? So I think ideally, yes, they'd win a couple games. And I just think the thing that separates him is the shooting. And he can get to the basket. He's just a magnificent offensive player. So if he's shooting really well, they win a couple games. I think he's the number one pick.
Wow, you think if he had 2 good games and they made it to Sweet 16, he's the number one pick?
If he plays really well, like really good games, yeah.
Yeah. Hadn't heard that from Jake Fisher, but, and I think I asked you guys this off the air, or maybe it was on the air. How in the heck did we come in and believe, coming into the season, everyone thought it was a 3-man race, and we knew Boozer, came in was super, super hyped because of his father, and they had never lost championships in state and everything else. He's got a whole truck full of trophies. Boozer twins do, right?
Yeah. And
we knew A.J. DeBonta and we knew DP, but it feels like of all the 3, Peterson has been the one, and for good reason, but it feels like people have not really questioned his talent. It's been everything else around it. And so that's why I'm asking, I don't know if we're questioning his talent, hence why I don't even know if he needs to. If he didn't play today, I still think people would believe he could be a number one pick. It's interesting that you think, a couple of games in the kitty might be able to bring him some love.
He's just so much more polished than the other guys. And, Cam's pretty polished. AJ is incredible. There are some things you look at and go, well, that needs to get a little better. I'm not saying red flag.
Yeah.
But when Peterson's playing well, as he was really before he started missing more games, I mean, to me, he just jumped out as a better player than the other two. At that point, obviously, there's some really important and valid questions here. But I think if he finishes strong here, I think he's a number one pick. Now, there is some positional stuff that comes into play. I don't know if you heard this, Jay. I think this was also Jake Fisher. Jake Fisher said, From what I'm hearing, if the Pacers have the first pick, they may take Cam Boozer.
Yeah, I saw that.
So there's some positional stuff, but otherwise, as far as the best player, I think it's Peterson. We'll see if he can prove that. It's kind of funny looking at it from the Kings standpoint. We have this debate every year with every team that's going through a draft. Well, do you take the best player or do you take somebody who fits a positional need? And given that the Kings need wings and point guards, it's like they don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, they're slotted for the top 10.
Yeah, which whoever you get is going to be
good.
a really good player and is going to address a real need for you.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, if you're the Kings, these are the conversations that you and Alan and just about everybody who's covered the Kings at this point, fans, friends, and anyone, onlookers, national media, the Kings are not in a position. And if they feel they are, then somebody needs to address it. But they're not in a position to be drafting for anybody's position. Right. They need to be drafting for need. Mm-hmm. Whatever is there and whoever is there that you like, you take them.
Yep.
And you build around him and figure out the rest.
You sort it out.
That's it. Mm-hmm. I don't need nobody, if we got a senior, I don't care if Maxime Raynaud and the number one pick is a center, you take them. You figure it out. Mm-hmm. That's just where it's at with me.
Yeah, we're going to try to figure it out with, is it true? Our next coming up next is, who do we got coming in?
We got Mr. Draper?
Yeah. Kyle Draper joining us next. As soon as he heard Alan was out, he's like, I want to be on the show. That's coming up next. Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
At quarterback, calling the right play could change the whole game. And when your car breaks down, same idea. Make the right call before the big repair bill hits. CarShield helps protect you from expensive auto repairs. Plans include 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, and rental car options, all to keep your drive alive. Look, breakdowns happen, but choosing CarShield, that's the easiest call you'll make all day.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
If you struggle with alignment off the tee, Golf.com's Zephyr Melton has a fix. If you aren't aimed where you think you are, you're putting yourself in a poor position before you even swing the club. Sometimes your brain will play tricks on you and make you feel like you're aimed one way when in reality you are aligned in a totally different spot. There are only 2 areas where you get to place your ball before you hit a shot, the green and the tee box. On the green, you always line up your ball when you place it down, so why not do the same thing on the tee box? Try pointing the logo or your Sharpie line down the target line. If you want to get your ball lined up even more precisely, try choosing an intermediate target in between your ball and the distant target, maybe a discoloration in the grass or divot, and then use that as an intermediate target. With that spot picked out, line your ball up pointing right at it. So long as you orient the ball correctly when you place it, you can swing away knowing you're aimed at your target. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options. Heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's TREX.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
If your business depends on reliable vehicles, it's time to upgrade your fleet at myelkgrovechevrolet.com. We specialize in fleet pricing, bulk discounts, and fast approvals, so your team stays on the road and on the job. From work trucks and vans to fuel-efficient sedans and SUVs, we have the inventory, service, and financing to keep your business moving. Call or visit myelkgrovechevrolet.com today and ask about exclusive fleet savings. myelkgrovechevrolet.com, driving business forward.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Now, who is this, Jay? Because I'm telling you, that bass line is sampled from a Police song that they slowed down. And it's awesome. Yes. I'll play you the song so you can hear it. This is
I actually know. So
okay.
The group is 702. It was an old R&B group in the late 90s, mid 90s, late 90s, but their producer was Timberland, who samples a lot of things, and Missy Elliott. They
all right,
huge samplers. So yes, you're right.
Okay, time to sample some college raper. Drape's nice enough to join us after a rough one for the Kings last night. How you handling all this hot weather, Drapes?
I don't know, man. It's kind of messing up my golf game, to be honest with you. You know, I'm a guy. Anything above 80, it's a little too hot for me. A little too hot for Drapes. So
but isn't that always
where you get out super early?
Isn't your score always above 80?
81. I wish, man. Shoot, I'm almost in triple digits now. The way I've been playing, man. Shoot, I'm struggling right now, man.
We were just talking about some frozen yogurt. What are your go-to and no-to toppings when it comes to frozen yogurt?
And let me just say this before you answer that. I know you're basic with ice cream. You better not be basic with yogurt too,
I'll just
bro.
put some sprinkles on it, Jay.
No, I'm pretty basic. I mean, I'll go with vanilla wafers. Some crushed up, some Kit Kats. I can throw some Kit Kats. Some pretzels or chocolate-covered pretzels. I'm good with that.
What flavor yogurt, though?
No, dog, vanilla, bro. What are you doing? Jay, what are we talking about here, bro?
Vanilla flavor yogurt, too?
Yes.
Come on, bro.
I mean, maybe like a mango or something like that.
Thank you. Put a little splash of flavor in your life, bro.
When you know what you like, you gotta understand. All right, so I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. It's a secret. I haven't told many people, but back in the day in high school, the fit of choice back in the day was you had some khakis or some chinos, you know what I mean, and a jean shirt. Well, I had like 6-7 pairs of khakis and jean shirts too. And so I didn't deviate from that. If I was rocking it, dude, I'm telling you.
I will
say this, though. I will say this.
Straight from Miller Outpost.
Right. Hey, dude, it was a khakis and denim shirt, baby, every day, man, with some K-Swiss at the time.
Okay.
But I do have one problem, though. I was driving, and I'm not going to say the school. I'm not going to put them on blast. But why the kids got to wear the same PE clothes nowadays? I drove past this one school today, and I'm not going to say the name because I'm not. It looked like, no offense, they was out in the yard. Like there's a bunch of inmates. I don't like the look of that, man. And I know my daughter's school does it. I don't know. Where did that start? Like the PE clothes, everybody and their mom got to have the same PE clothes.
Yeah, we had to do that even when I had Franklin Junior High in Vallejo, going way back. Yeah. So must have something to do with, you don't want anybody coming in showing how much money they have or something. Just everybody wears the same things and gets down to business. I don't know.
But here's the problem, Whitey. You can wear regular clothes during the day,
right,
and through school all day, but for PE, everybody got to look the same. It just seems weird. I don't know.
You know what it is, man. Follow the greenback, brother. It's the school district. It has a deal with someone, and they're getting the money. To participate, to dress in gym, right? You have to pretty much half your grade is dressing in gym and PE. So to get a good grade, you must dress, which means you need to put on our uniforms, which means you're paying us. Come on, bro. You know how the game go.
All right. Just making sure. Okay.
It's the same reason why you, as an announcer, can't come in there with some khakis and your Cheetos and your cargo pants. You got to put on a suit.
The Jim Harbaugh of funk.
Right.
Oh, man. What's going on, man? What are we talking about today?
Tell us about Max and that 3-ball and how he's coming along.
I tell you what. He has made some major strides this season, probably more so than any player on the team, because I just heard you guys talking, and Whitey, you were right. He was hesitant at times to start the season to shoot that 3-ball. And I said this on the postgame show. Not only is he knocking down the 3-ball, but what you're seeing from Maxime Raynaud is the evolution of his offensive game. For a while there, he was just being spoon-fed from Russell Westbrook like a baby here, and that's how he was getting his buckets. I've seen over the last few weeks him putting it on the deck, him showing some post moves, him not hesitating. He's been the biggest bright spot of the season so far. Back-to-back 30-point games. First Kings rookie since Walt the Wizard Williams to do that. And so I'm loving what I'm seeing from him. Not that the fact that he's knocking it down, but that he's taking the shots. He's not hesitating. He's not deferring. He's getting in his bag out there, and he looks good.
Yo, Drapes, we were also talking about DQ, Daquan Plowden, your Philadelphia fellow. What's your thoughts so far on DQ's season? He hasn't been with the big club a whole bunch, but then at the same time, it feels like he's been up, at the NBA level quite a bit. And I'm just kind of confused, where we think DQ is right now and his provision right here with Sacramento Kings.
No, he's an NBA player, man, no doubt about it. And what's happening with him is, for the first time, I feel like somebody's giving him a real shot. And it may be because of circumstance, you know what I mean? The Kings been out of it for a while, and so they're getting a really good look at it. But the guy defends. He's long. He can knock down the 3. I mean, hell, why can't this dude be a rotation player on an NBA team? Sort of a Dorian Finney-Smith type, if you will. You know what I mean? Somebody like that. Hell, and this is no shade to this guy, Jared Vanderbilt, tremendous defender, but he can't shoot like our boy Daquan Plowden. So why not give Daquan Plowden a shot? And so I think he's an NBA player, and I told the story, I'll tell it again. Summer League, sitting next to Doug Christie, he said, I'm intrigued by this dude. I'm going to have to give him a contract. And we see, and so I actually talked to Daquan yesterday about his very first NBA game where he dropped 19 points. And he said, I just went in there with supreme confidence. So this is a confident dude. I know he's 27, but this is a confident dude that feels like he belongs, and he's showing that right now with this team. I go back about a month ago, we were on the road. What was it, Memphis, and I forget the other team, where he had 10 points in the fourth quarter one game, 11 in the fourth quarter the other game. Like, he's showing us something. He's showing me he is an NBA player, and I hope they keep him around next season.
Drapes, you going to be out there at Emran's store tomorrow when Dylan Cardwell's out there, or do you not want to overshadow the youngster?
Yeah, I may have to stay away. You know what? I might set up my own little table outside the store. Taking pictures and everything. Yeah. Nah, man, I'm busy tomorrow, Whitey. I got a 14-year-old birthday party I'm hosting tomorrow, so
ooh,
I will not be there.
I sure hope you're serving those young people more than vanilla. That's just me. I'm just saying.
Dude, cheese pizza, and that's the menu. That's it.
What about some Neapolitan or anything?
I don't know about that. I hadn't even thought about dessert, dude.
What about the cake?
I haven't even thought about a cake. My daughter doesn't like cake. She
Cupcakes?
Doesn't like cake. She doesn't like cupcakes.
Cookies?
So she likes cookies.
Fruit snacks? I mean, where are we going with this, bro?
Dog, I I got grapes and some Chex Mix for them. That's about it.
Didn't you? Was it last year you hosted this and it was a slumber party, or am I imagining that?
Yeah. The sleepover. It was brutal. No sleepover this time, man. No sleep. You know why though? Because I told Quinn, my daughter, I asked her, I said, hey, do you want to sleep over? She said no. Because last year, kids get wild at about 10, 11 o'clock, right? And so they were doing all kinds of stuff in the house, and I got on her butt. I said, Quinn, you better control your friends, So she felt that she had to be responsible for her friends, which she does. And she doesn't want to deal with that.
Yeah,
smart, sharp. Boy, right. She's sharp.
Right.
Hey, Drapes, what does one commentator in the NBA do when you can see the deadline of your the expiration of your season? How does one continue to do what you do every single day, big time?
Oh, all right. I thought you were. Hey, I'm just like the players. 1, 2, 3, Cancun. You know what I mean? And like making off-season plans. But in terms of the game, as a broadcaster, all you hope for is it to be entertaining. The wins and losses, that doesn't matter. Just entertain for 2 hours. Don't get blown out like we saw the first quarter against the San Antonio Spurs. Let me get at least a good 2.5 quarters of good quality basketball where I could just focus on the product on the floor. Then when it gets out of hand, you start looking at big picture stuff around the league, focusing more on individuals, that kind of thing, instead of the play on the court. But fortunately for us, we're seeing a Daquan Plowden, a Max Raynaud, a Dylan Cardwell. There are still some encouraging signs, but that's where you earn your money, fellas. You don't earn your money when everything's fine and dandy and it's a tight game. That's the dessert, the cherry on top. You get it out of mud when you're down by 30 in the second quarter. That's when it's tough.
That's the grapes with the Chex Mix. That's what.
Right.
Do you think it's possible, just your opinion, no reflection of the organization's opinion necessarily, if the Kings have a good draft, let's say they get a really high pick, they love the players they've picked, do you think it's possible that this year becomes more of a gap year and maybe they're back at competing for a play-in spot or better sooner rather than later? Do you think that's anywhere on the radar potentially going into next year?
I think it's possible, and here's why. Obviously, you got to make some moves. You get in the right rookie, but we really haven't seen this entire team whole. What does Keegan Murray, let's be honest, this was a lost season for Keegan Murray with all the injuries. We really never got to see him for an extended period of time. So let's say you get an AJ. Now you got AJ, Keegan Murray, Domas at the center spot. You got DeMar and Zach. Or let's say you get an A-Cup. Now you got your point guard, And so I think for the Kings, injuries were a huge part, but you need a culture set. You need to be playing hard every single night. You can't let go of the rope. And I hope, whoever they get, that's why I like a guy like Caleb Wilson. I think Caleb Wilson has some dog in him. Nobody's talking about that. But I think he got some dog in him. And so, that's why I like him. And so you got to get a guy like that. I think you can do some things. I don't think anybody, not even John Hollinger, maybe he did, but 18 wins, it's way too much talent. We just haven't seen it all together. And so I'm hopeful, but it sort of reminds me when you look at the Miami Heat, they never really bottomed out. Even the Celtics, they bottomed out 1 year and then they were back in the playoffs the following year. Not saying that's what, we're going to do, but if you make the right moves, get the right player, maybe you make some tweaks during the off season, get the right DNA, the right chemistry, and get it all to come together, why not, battle for a play-in spot? I don't think are they that much worse than Portland, Golden State right now? I don't think so.
Especially
in
not
terms of,
if you add a really good player.
The gap isn't that wide.
Yeah.
The gap isn't that wide. It looks like it in the standings, but it's really not.
All right, Drapes. We appreciate it as always. Good luck with the slumber party. You got Jay's number if you need any help, right?
Oh, you know what though? I set it up perfectly. Here, let me detail it. I'm doing a scavenger hunt, 90-minute scavenger hunt. So the girls go out, look for things. Then they're going to do some painting in the backyard, like some canvas. And then we're going to have a backyard movie night. So they ain't even going to be in my house, really.
Yeah, boy, you short.
Hey, and the thing is, I'm going to have them circle around. Don't even walk through the house to get to the backyard. You circle around it. Don't be trying to your dirty feet up in it. Right. So, yeah, I'm all set for tomorrow, man. I'm ready.
What's the featured movie? The main attraction.
You know what she's into right now? She's into Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, she said that she wants to watch that.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
We went to Disney, did the ride and everything. And I'm like, it's based on a movie. And we watched it and she loved it. So Johnny Depp.
All right. Aren't there like 3 of them? You could just
more than that.
Yeah.
I think it was like 5.
Yeah, it's like 5. Yeah. I think we're doing 2 tomorrow. I think we're doing 2.
All right, boy.
Yeah.
Well, at least please give those children more than vanilla, man. I'm just begging you. Please. And if you do, take a picture. Just anything else besides vanilla, big time.
Hey, and their drinks, not even juice boxes. I'm giving them whole milk to drink. Whole milk. So. Whole milk and water.
That's for baby goats, man.
It's good for them.
All right, fellas.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Drapes.
Good seeing you guys.
All right.
Man.
We appreciate it. Kyle Draper, when we come back, what can baseball learn from this year's big, fat World Baseball Classic? Ratings next on Sactown Sports.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
It's time for the madness, and your HVAC system is in a full court press. Cold mornings, warm afternoons, your heater and AC are battling, and your system is working overtime. Don't let your comfort get knocked out. Score Brower Mechanical's Madness BOGO Special. Buy a heating maintenance and get a free AC maintenance for just $89. Call 916-352-3113. Brower Mechanical. Residential and commercial HVAC sales and service. License number 1081055.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action, but please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
I need a little range, step to the range.
There's a new flavor in town, the Jalapeno Ranch Club at Chick-fil-A. With that juicy Chick-fil-A original spicy or grilled chicken, a buttermilk ranch bun, candied bacon, pepper jack cheese, and jalapeno ranch sauce. It's got big ranch vibes with a little heat. Chick-fil-A's new Jalapeno Ranch Club, available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John always listens to his truck. So when his brakes start talking, he goes to AutoZone, where a helpful AutoZoner gets him the right parts. If John has time to put them in, he borrows a kit with Loan-A-Tool. And if he doesn't, he gets a free shop referral. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool. Restrictions apply.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at PepsiPromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of PepsiCo Inc.
Live stream the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports 1140.
Are you taking requests today, Jay?
Always from you, brother.
Well, not from me necessarily.
Oh, okay.
But if anybody wants, if you have something you want Jay to play, I'll pass it along. He'll consider it.
Yeah, of course.
He's got a lot already on his musical plate. He comes in with ideas. And so, yeah, you got something you want to hear Jay play. You know, we were talking on Matt Kayla's show about, they were talking about Tupac Tuesdays. And I suggested Wu-Tang Wednesdays. But
wow.
Yeah. But you just kind of, you're more eclectic than that. You don't want to be limited by themes. And I remember one day it was raining and I mentioned something about the rainy day songs and you like, no, I'm not doing that.
What did I do?
It's just kind of, it was like Hubie Brown or something, you know? All right, here's the thing. He shoots 43% on twos, 31% on his threes. Rainy day, I don't think we're doing that.
Oh, shouts out to Hubie. I love Hubie, man.
Oh, me too.
I love Hubie. Hubie is fantastic.
That was one of the best things to me anyway about Soul Power.
Ah,
when they're talking
Hubie.
about the Kentucky Colonels. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, Ella Brown, she was terrific. Dan Issel, rebound, defend. You know he wants to get it done because he does it at both ends of the floor for you.
Hubie is spectacular. He is a treasure when it comes to, first of all, life, but of course basketball, man. Mm-hmm. You know, we might have to ask the legend Jerry Reynolds about Hubie Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's has he? I'm pretty sure he's had many conversations with Hubie, but you know, is there anything that comes to mind about Hubie Brown?
Yeah, you know, that's great. Hubie stories is Emus, because he was one of Hubie's assistants for some international tournament or something.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it. Hubie is spectacular, man.
Mm-hmm.
He gives it out as much as he takes it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
You know what else was spectacular? Jay? Per Sports Media Watch, that World Baseball Classic, I have to admit, when I was watching it, and it was very exciting, I wondered sometimes, how many people are watching this. Venezuela's victory over Team USA averaged 10.78 million viewers across Fox and Fox Deportes, higher than any other game in the event's history. That builds on the 7.37 million mark the U.S. versus Dominican semifinal yielded on Sunday night. So the World Baseball Classic, by just about any measure, and certainly including TV ratings, a huge success. Baseball's having a bit of a moment.
It is. It truly is. And I saw it capped out around 12 point something million.
Yes.
You know, at its
when
peak.
Bryce Harper hit the home run. Yeah.
That's spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
It is baseball. I don't say back because it never left, but I think, well, it has left, but I'm saying in the past, in history, it didn't, excuse me, the last 10 years or so, recent history is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't left, but it definitely took a step back somewhere, you know, early 2010s, 11s, 12s, you know, before we got to the teens. But it feels like more now than ever the last 2 or 3 or 4 years because Shohei, of course, probably the Bryce Harpers, the Aaron Judges, but it feels like people are paying attention to baseball a little bit more.
Last year's World Series brought in enormous numbers, but Tuesday's final of the World Baseball Classic averaged more viewers than the 2023 World Series between the Rangers and the Diamondbacks.
Saw that. That's big time right there.
That was a World Series where, like, everyone knew, like, this isn't really the World Series. You can call it that, but the Diamondbacks and the Rangers, no offense, but that's not really the World Series.
Well, the Rangers had a good team.
They both did.
Yeah, they did.
Both did.
I thought the Diamondbacks got hot, got lucky. You know, they played well.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to see.
It just didn't have the appeal of
if we're talking about
or
that.
something. Yeah.
But you know what? It happens. It feels that way here and there. Sometimes I would venture to say for me, this Super Bowl felt that way. I was like, I mean, who's really tuned in? Seattle, you know, Patriots have kind of been there, done that. But without no Belichick, no Brady.
You're right.
It's like,
Jay, the whole thing was blah, 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 blah.
Who was that? Who said that, man? Oh, boy, Mike.
Michael Irvin. Yeah. He was just talking about the parties and everything.
Yeah, he was hating,
the stadium.
He was hating, man. Yeah, he was hating. But
it's just a shame here that we're looking at potentially a work stoppage when baseball, actually some of these things they've been trying over the last few years, speeding up the game. Let's throw in the World Baseball Classic. That's not new, but they've only had, I think, 6 of them. They're working, and now we may have a shutdown. That'd be unfortunate.
I hope it seems inevitable, but I hope they can figure it out sooner than later. It really comes down to what? The cap versus players like, no, we want to make as much money as possible. We know the expansion has kind of twinkled in there a little bit. That may bust down a few salaries, throughout the league, but it's so much money to be made by everyone, both
Some
parties.
Some of it is the owners against other owners, too.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true, because they're tired of the Yankees and the Dodgers being able to spend $300, $400, $500 million.
Making us look bad. We don't want to spend that much money.
And I'm only spending 62, and I'm getting 55, from everybody else in the room.
Right.
John Fisher.
Uh-huh. Speaking of John Fisher, I just saw this yesterday. Apparently, Buster Olney has a podcast.
Okay.
And the initials BBTN. I don't know if that's baseball tonight, but somebody said, hey, nobody really noticed this, but towards the end of Buster's latest edition of the BBTN podcast, he said that someone in the know or someone who would know told Buster Olney Oakland may be an expansion candidate in Major League Baseball. Yes.
I'm going to have to go check that out.
That's very vague, and it was just something that he said on his podcast, so it's hard to find anything really substantial there. But he apparently said somebody who would know, whatever that means, told him Oakland could be an expansion.
Town business.
I don't think so.
I don't see it.
I wouldn't mind that, frankly. I know I'm not supposed to say that because we're trying to get a team here, but I just don't see that happening.
Well, I mean, if Sacramento can't get a team, then Oakland's a very close second for me. The question I would have is, are they going to do what it sounds like the Thunder are going to do if Sonics are going to come back? It's all but written in stone. Sonics come back, then the Thunder will give them back their history and colors and everything else.
Right.
Would that happen with the A's? See, I think John Fisher's the type of cat that he would fight tooth and nail to keep the brand of the A's, because that's one of the things positive that he still has going. You know, so I could see his, those cats over there with the Athletics ownership group who are saying, you guys have to become, the Oakland somethings.
Right.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The trees, the sycamores or whatever.
The oaks. Your Oakland sycamores wouldn't make it.
Right. Yeah.
I would think the bigger problem is, one of the reasons the A's didn't get a stadium built and one of the reasons the A's didn't move to San Jose is because the A's ran up against the Giants. So how would that have changed? How would the Giants now say, oh, okay, we're okay with it? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. It would be the commissioner coming in and say, listen, this is what we're going to do, and there's too much money to be made, and you better pipe down. That's the only way I could see it at this point.
Mm-hmm. They didn't do that before because Bud Selig, even though one of the A's owners was his good buddy, Lou Wolf.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the A's been done wrong every which way, every direction you could think of.
Well, the A's fans have.
Yes. Well, that's a great point. Yeah, because the A's, the owners, have conducted themselves as probably not top-notch as well.
Wouldn't you think if it came to that, like, oh, we're going to put a team in Oakland, they want to be the A's, John Fisher. All right, well, let's talk money.
You know what it's all about.
Yeah.
Look, I have 363,000 hoodies at the Gap that I need to sell. And right now, folks are wearing PE uniforms and they're not rocking the Gap hoodies. So what can we do to make up the difference?
Mm-hmm. Steve Ashburner is going to join us when we come back. He's a senior writer for NBA.com. He puts together the rookie ladder. So what does he make of Maxime Raynaud's climb up the NBA rankings? We'll talk to him about that next. Don't go away. Drive, guys.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Now you've got a place for all things dance.
The all-new Energy 100.5 HD2.
Where dance music lives. Dance vibes anytime and any place when you get the free Now 100.5 app.
Or listen at 100.5 HD2.
Hagen Oaks knows you can buy a driver off the shelf anywhere, but Hagen Oaks is the only place where you'll find total game fitting. The Hagen Oaks TrackMan-powered player performance studio fits clubs to your swing. Ping's Ballnamic Ball Fitter finds your optimum golf ball. The putter fitting studio makes you a better putter, and FootJoy's 3D foot scanner finds your correct fit. In fact, Hagen Oaks will fit you from head to toe with equipment and apparel to make you the player you want to be. It's total game fitting, and it's only at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Carmichael Dave letting you know it's no secret the world feels unpredictable lately. One thing will never change, Hoblet's mission to drop high prices. Right now, and only at Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland, you can get 4.99% financing for up to 84 months on all new vehicles in stock and keep every factory rebate that you qualify for when you finance with Hoblet's preferred lender. That's 4.99% financing. You keep all the factory rebates you qualify for, not one or the other like other dealers are offering. Only Hoblet has fought to get you a deal this good. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. 4.99% APR available on select new vehicles in stock while supplies last. Pricing and savings may vary by model and trim. Financing on approved credit through Hoblet Preferred Lending for well-qualified buyers. $60,000 max finance, approximately $14.14 per thousand financed. Residency restrictions and lender membership requirements may apply. See dealer for details.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Oh, we got a barn burner brewing here, Jay. Let's see. Is it Southern Utah? Yeah, the scores are jumping all over. I mean, Utah State. Yes, Utah State 65, Villanova 65. Thank you. Yeah, about 8 minutes to go in that one. Nice enough to join us with more basketball. Of course, he pushed together, as I said, the rookie rankings, and Maxime Raynaud is soaring up the charts. He's senior writer for NBA.com. I think he's also Ray Ratto's friend, Jay. So we don't hold that against him, do we?
Let me think about it.
Yeah. Steve Ashburner, nice enough to join us. How are you, Steve?
I'm doing fine, gentlemen. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, well, thank you for, stepping away from all the college madness for a few moments. We appreciate your time. We wanted to ask you about Maxime Raynaud continuing to climb up your rookie ladder. Obviously, we don't have a lot to get excited about this year with the Kings, but what stands out to you about the way he's progressed this season?
Well, you know what? I think it's his ability to thrive in a pretty dire or dismal situation. I mean, that to me, for a young guy, says a lot. He's not dragged down by the by the circumstances there and the failures to meet other expectations. I think, his size, where he was drafted, the stats he's put up, early on, it was sort of a per 36 kind of a thing. But now, I mean, he's playing, regular minutes, starting and all of that. So I just think he's been, for a big man, pretty encouraging and showing a lot of potential. So I just have not seen the consistency from enough other rookies to knock him farther down the ladder.
Steve, I'll stay right there. We were having this discussion real briefly before you came on the show earlier in the hour. It seems like Tankathon was pretty much run away with the Rookie of the Year. Hopefully you agree with that, or maybe you don't. But do you see Max maybe making first-team All-Rookie?
Sure, it's possible. I mean, it's a positionless, honor. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to come up with a center. You don't have to come up with the five traditional positions. So, but it's possible. I mean, I know that there are some guys I have a little further down, like Cedric Howard and Derek Queen, who were terrific early in the season, haven't sustained that. And depending on how the voters look at that, a lot of times it's not only who had the better rookie seasons, it's which rookies do you think are going to have lasting power in the league. So whether enough people see, Maxime, with the West Coast starting time of home games and other teams out there, and then, pay attention because of the Kings' otherwise lackluster season, maybe he won't get the volume of votes. But as of this point, I mean, look, the way I put it is my ladder is essentially my ballot for the first 2 rookie teams. And there's 10 spots. There's 5 and 5. If you're top 5 by the end of the season, that's pretty much who I vote for the rookie teams, all rookie teams. And the top 3 are on my rookie of the year ballot. Now, I'm just one voter, and there's 100. So take that for what it's worth.
That's Steve Ashburner, senior writer, NBA.com. Steve, here's something that we've been dealing with all year. And by the way, appreciate your diplomacy. The Kings have had a lackluster season. That's a nice way to put it. But how hard is it?
The Kings.
Yeah.
I always enjoyed getting out there to cover things. I covered the Timberwolves for 14 or 15 years, so I was getting out to Sacramento a couple times a year, and always enjoyed it. They have a great building now, and didn't see things going as sideways as they have.
How hard is it to evaluate what rookies are doing when so many teams are, frankly, tanking?
Yeah, I don't know that makes things worse, only because rookies traditionally go to inferior teams. That's how the draft is set up. I know there's a lot of, jockeying for position to get the highest picks, but that's generally still within the ranks of losing teams. So the rookies who can come in and, either improve the record of a team a little bit with their impact. I mean, that's usually very impressive. And the, the tentpole kind of rookies, the future all-stars, they can help a team improve by, a dozen victories. Other guys, if they come in and they are just not sort of, weighed down by circumstances, a lot of rookie of the year candidates, fit that mold. I remember way back in the day, Damon Stoudemire went to, an expansion Toronto Raptors team, and he won Rookie of the Year because he was putting up a lot of points. And I was in Minnesota at the time covering, and their GM, Kevin McHale, said, somebody's got to score on a bad team. So, I don't think that you factor in winning and losing as much with rookies as, say, an MVP or some of the other award winners, all NBA picks. I think that it's, look, we don't even hold the rookies to the 65-game minimum rule that they have for other awards. If a guy is really good, but he say somebody really thrived off a 2-way contract and they spent some time early in the year in the G League, or they ran out of appearances that are available on a 2-way contract. He hit 50 and he was done. So, that wouldn't stop somebody from really making an impression as a rookie. So I don't think losing matters most in the rookie evaluation.
Joined by Steve Ashburner of NBA.com. Steve, I love had the opportunity to have you on plenty of different shows and stations, but I love following you on social network because you give your opinions on quite a few things. One of the things that I saw you kind of, disperse some comments on was Bam's 83-point explosion.
And Wilt.
And Wilt, too,
yeah.
which is great because you mentioned in 1987 you had the opportunity to interview him. Just your thoughts on Bam's 83, and then a quick reaction, or is there anything that you can remember from Big Wilt talking about his 100-point game?
Well, I was fine with Bam's performance for 3.5 quarters. And then I thought things got a little hinky. I didn't like that Washington, was triple teaming him. And then I didn't like the way Miami reacted to that and, missing a free throw intentionally and, doing things out of character for them. They're sort of the big brother, right? They're the team with the vaunted culture. Washington is getting its training wheels, but the Miami Heat should have risen above that. And I frankly am surprised that the reverence in which people hold Kobe Bryant didn't kick in to the point that somebody said, you know what, we can't have a cheap surpassing of Kobe Bryant's 81. It has to, we don't want to knock him off of that number 2 spot for single game scoring. But that apparently was not a factor, and they were happy to get Bam that however he could. I saw Bam sort of gloated about it last night after Luka went for 60 against the Heat. And at his post-game interview, Bam said, well, this just shows, everybody how tough it is to score 80. It's like, wait a minute. A little more humility, I think, would be good. I like him. He's a very good player. He wouldn't be in the top 100 picks for people that you thought would someday surpass Kobe Bryant's 81 points in a game. Never has been that type of player. They almost had to plead with him over the years to be more offensive-minded. And then he goes and he puts up that number. And now he's on Luka's big night. He's going to sort of gloat about, I scored 20 more than the guy, in essence.
Mm-hmm.
So it was weird. Now with Wilt, I was delighted to interview him. I interviewed him a couple times in '87 in a one-on-one phone interview. He was at home in California. It was the 25th anniversary of that 100-point game, and he was good. He didn't really want to do it, and then he warmed up to it. Sort of the more that we spoke, and one thing that stuck out is he seemed a little amazed. He's like, I look back at some of my achievements, and I'm like, did I really do that? Mm-hmm. And whether that was a false humility or not, it was good in the moment. And he also said that, when based on the number of people at that point who had come up to him to say, I was there that night in Hershey, Pennsylvania, a neutral site game that was attended by, I think, less than 5,000 people. It must have been 100,000 people that told him that. And he says, I don't like when people lie, but I let them get away with that one.
Yeah, he's been in the news a lot lately, as he should always be in the news. Bam scoring 83 and then Shea's 20-point game streak. Wilt is underappreciated. Does somebody need to do a new documentary about him or something?
Well, I know that, I think it was Showtime had like a 3-part series not that long ago, a year or so ago. And, I do feel, I consider myself one of the keepers of the Wilt flame in our business. It's always, I just feel like people are too quick to forget the past. I got a compliment early in my career that has stuck with me as maybe the best thing anybody ever told me. An editor at the newspaper job I had in Milwaukee stopped me one day and he said, some of the best things you write about are things that happened before you were born. And I thought, well, yeah, that's sort of why history is out there for us, right?
Yeah.
You learn from it, you read about it, you appreciate it. And I see in current media, and sports media is no different, this idea, it's almost like the, FOMO, fear of missing out. We can't acknowledge things happened that were great before we were around to comment and witness it. And it's sort of like, well, unfortunately, Babe Ruth came along before all of us were around. And, we're going to deny that he was real and that he achieved what he did. Same thing with Wilt. We want to think, the game's better than ever and this and that. And, people will use their numbers to defend. I see people nowadays defending, to me, lesser players by saying, well, Wilt, he got to play all 48 minutes of the game. Well, so you're going to hold his durability and his stamina against him. Mm-hmm. They'll twist things, to whatever fits their argument. I just feel it's important to appreciate what came before.
Amen.
Yeah, I 1,000% agree with you.
Yeah.
Steve, you've been around the game quite a long time. You've been blessed to be part of the NBA, be around the NBA. What's your thoughts on the expansion conversation that's going on right now? And if so, the Sonics, of course, looks like to be in stone to come, and maybe, as I say, maybe probably Vegas as well. What's your thoughts on both of those cities?
Well, obviously, I think that Seattle never should have lost its team. All hail to what the Oklahoma City Thunder have been doing, but the way they got that team, to me, was a major disappointment and not a good look for the NBA. Same with Vancouver losing its team to Memphis. Those were ownership-driven moves. They weren't necessarily, the market saying we don't want this. Now I know that in Seattle there was a dragging of the heels in terms of what they needed in terms of a new building. And so, a lot of times people just, okay, I'll take my ball and go where I can get a better deal from the marketplace. But it didn't say anything about the NBA fans and the sports fans in Seattle. I'm glad they're coming back. Vegas seems inevitable. Look, the 2007 All-Star Game in Las Vegas was a mess. It was a PR disaster for the league. As a one-off, it they didn't pull it off very well. There was a lot of shenanigans around the city on the Strip and violence and things that were part of the bad experience. But I think now the way Vegas has blossomed as a pro sports town, it just seems like they'll be able to handle being one of those markets that has all 4 pro sports, the major in North America. So that to me that's fine. But you're going to add 30 new players to the league who right now are either in the G League or in Europe or in college. And is the talent so deep in the current NBA when you've got, sort of 10 teams that are vying for high draft picks that seem almost like automatic losses for them and victories for their opponents. And you have a lot of lopsided scores. I think that the league has to be very careful about that. What the salary cap system has done is it addressed the problem of stars congregating on just a handful of teams, but it didn't solve the problem that there are maybe 20 superstars for a 30-team league, and now it's going to be 20 superstars for a 32-team league. And if you're one of the have-nots, novelty in those expansion markets will sell tickets for a while. That's not a problem. But when those teams go to the other cities and you're asking people in, markets that aren't doing so great right now, like Chicago or Milwaukee or, you name it, Washington, to pay to see the new Sonics or whatever the Vegas team is, it's a tougher sell. So, there's great basketball talent around the world. It's just a matter, you've got to get it into this league in the right places, performing at the highest possible levels, and then, hope that there's enough there to keep the quality of the product high.
That's Steve Ashburner with his senior writer, NBA.com. It's kind of funny, Steve. People like to say, Wilt played against plumbers. Well, no, he didn't. But if the league isn't careful, Jokic will be playing against plumbers. But I wanted to ask you about the lottery reform. Obviously, in Sacramento, we're really looking forward to the lottery. But we're also curious to see here, the Kings may be at the beginning of a multi-year rebuild. We don't know yet. But if they are, they may be looking at a couple of years in the lottery. And yet the commissioner and the league talking about, hey, we're gonna reform the lottery again. Which might change the Kings' plans. How drastic do you think the commissioner might get when it comes to, as he says, removing the incentive to tank next year?
Well, you can't make this much noise about it and then give it a little tweak. Mm-hmm. So I think it'll be fairly significant. Now, that doesn't bother me too much. I mean, if a team, whether it's Sacramento or Philadelphia prior to that, with its process or whatever any of the other, strategic losing franchises were. I mean, if you're going to think 2, 3, 4 years, well, we can stack up, top 4 picks. Look, it took Charlotte a long time. I mean, they had LaMelo Ball, they had Brandon Miller, and only when they get Con Knippel now has it started to click. But that's not how, even in the old days, that's not how the draft was meant to be. I mean, it was meant to be that the worst teams in the league would flip a coin. One would get number 1, one would get number 2. You'd line up according to your record in inverse order, and then you'd work your asses off and play your asses off to not be in that position next year. And, some teams were chronically bad, but I don't think it was really approached as a strategy.
Right.
So I don't feel bad that, our plan to stink for a while isn't going to be able to be implemented because they're going to change some rules. I just think that's you got to accept that stuff changes, and that's not the ultimate way to go. And I've worked in cities that, they say the 3 ways to improve teams are, the draft, free agency, and trades. And I've worked in cities that didn't have free agency much at their disposal. They weren't seen as a popular destination by top NBA talent. I worked in Milwaukee, I worked in Minnesota, and the list of great free agents that went to those teams, very, very, very short and very, very dubious. But, so if a team like Sacramento maybe doesn't feel it's a glamour market, they're going to have to just be better when it comes to drafting, and they're going to have to be, more savvy when it comes to trades, and not just trade their way, towards the top of the draft or the bottom of the standings. You actually have to find unpolished gems. So, I mean, it's Maybe they'll institute changes with a grandfathering where these changes are meant to start in 28, 29, but I don't think so. I don't think that, that would be a signal that we're going to reward this sort of strategy. I think that'll come pretty quickly. So you got to be nimble and be able to pivot quickly for the Kings.
Steve, last one for me. You're in Chicago, and you're talking about different markets, and it feels like Chicago's light is kind of dimmed. There always will be history, but when you have markets like Chicago, I guess not attracting the big free agent, how are you, as if we're talking about Sacramento or Milwaukee going through it with Giannis, how are you supposed to try to attract some of the guys like the Giannis's, the Anthony Edwards? How, if you're a smaller market, how can you go about that?
Well, fortunately, people have different tastes, right? I mean, some people like butter pecan and others like chocolate, and not all free agents want to go to South Beach where they can party, all night. Not everybody wants to go to New York with, the idea that it's kind of antiquated now, but, I'll get more endorsements or things like that. There are different priorities. And so, Chicago, they haven't been a great free agent destination either. And, here they're one of the major cities in the country. I don't think that necessarily precludes other teams from, drawing talent. I think a lot of guys still, fortunately, they want to go where they can win. And, Oklahoma City is building a tradition now where I would think that some role players maybe would go there. They won't need stars because they've got at least 3 stars on their roster already, and you can only pay so many. But, I look at the Bulls. Look, the Bulls make a ton of money. And in many ways, it's more profitable to be mediocre or worse than it is to be paying out those $250 million long-term contracts. As long as you meet the salary cap floor for payroll, that's all you have to spend, and you can pocket a lot of the what remains. So I went to college with a guy coaching the basketball team at that time named Al McGuire. And one of the things he always said about him doing his job was if he'd come out before the game and he'd look at the 4 corners up in the rafters of the arena, and if there were people in those seats, he was doing his job, win or lose. And unfortunately, I think that's kind of what the Bulls do. They see those seats are filled night in, night out, and that's good enough. And they haven't put, a really committed effort to winning, I think, in a good decade since Tom Thibodeau was here. And so, I think Bulls fans deserve better, but the management of the team seems not to feel that way. So I think it all starts at the top. And if you have an ownership committed to winning, they'll figure out a way to navigate the path to get close to that.
Senior writer, NBA.com, Steve Ashburner. Steve, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Hope to talk to you again soon, especially if we get a chance to talk more about Wilt Chamberlain.
Anytime. I'll do that at half the rate I charged you today.
Thank you. Nice. Steve Ashburner. Appreciate it.
Bye, guys.
Bye. By the way, it reminds me of a story, and this is something that I don't think is confirmed. It's just people's opinions. When the Kings were going to move, they were going to leave town. And the commissioner stepped in and he worked with Mayor Johnson, as you know, and the Kings stayed. I thought, wow, perhaps the commissioner learned from the mistake the league made by letting the Sonics leave. And they didn't want Sacramento to lose a team. But there are some who will tell you, and again, I think this is just their opinion, that one of the reasons the commissioner didn't want the Kings leaving here and going to Seattle was because he was so upset about some of the things they said about him in Seattle. He didn't want them getting another team at that time.
He was stained.
Again, I don't know.
Hurt.
I don't know. And it's possible that he might be the only one that would know that. And obviously, rest in peace, Commissioner Stern. But I always thought, he must have learned from that. And some people say, no, I think it was just
personal.
They said some bad things about the commissioner up there, and he didn't want them getting another team.
Well,
he heard it all and didn't forget it.
It's only human nature.
Yeah.
It's only human nature, right? Well, no one is perfect. And so I could see that. Could you imagine all the different scenarios that would play out if we were privy to so much of the behind closed doors information and how little and or how big personal conflict and personal interest would definitely, play a part in some of this stuff.
Animosity.
Come on now. I could only imagine. You know what? Because newspapers were prevalent at that time. You pick up the newspaper and you see it is like front page of Seattle Times, and they got Lenny Wilkins and it's like Lenny says something about Seattle needed a basketball team, and then right under there, because here we go, like the Sac B opinion piece.
Yeah.
Commissioner Stern is terrible. And this and that and that and this and this and that. And he's like, man, we ain't going back to Seattle. We're good. 206, please.
NBC just had their throwback nights, and they brought back Hannah Storm, and they brought back Bob Costas.
Yep.
And Doug
No
Collins.
Peter Vesey.
Right. No Peter Vesey. Well, I remember Peter Vesey used to do Sundays. Was it the Post or the Times? I'm sorry if people from New York. What are you crazy?
Yeah.
Whichever one he run. I apologize. I don't know which one it was. But I remember George Karl, and I think he was coaching Seattle at the time, talking about how on Sundays players would get that and they'd pour through that to read all the rumors. Can you imagine that? Compare that to today. Players getting a copy of the newspaper on the team bus, and they're reading all Peter Vesey's column to find out all the scuttlebutt.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to the way it is today?
I mean, New York Post, Peter Vesey.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I could, because that was the highway of information, right? It's just completely different.
That was a dirt road of information.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
What we have now, yeah.
You ain't lying. But it's not that far in the past.
Right.
Like, you really look at
it,
you're like, man, that was really 25 years ago? I mean...
But see, the last 25 years have gone by fast.
It has. I mean, truly.
That's a quarter.
Remember
of a freaking
Y2K?
century.
I mean, just
Yes.
Y2K was a huge thing.
They just had
Everything was shut
Y2K
down.
night at the Kings game.
Did they?
Last week,
And what they celebrate? I mean, what they put up, a light bulb and turned it off? Or,
they had Joey Fatone out there.
Oh, that was Y2K?
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, what were they doing?
And then he was singing Backstreet Boys songs, which
For
me
sure.
and Alan were like, that ain't right.
Why is that not right,
Because he
bro?
wasn't in the Backstreet
Was
Boys.
he in sync?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's like Britney singing Christina Aguilera songs.
Are you sure he was singing Backstreet Boys songs?
I wasn't there, but Matt George said he was.
Oh, I don't trust Matt George sources.
Okay,
So
we'll have to
who
check on
else
that
we
if
got?
anybody knows. Yeah. And I guess everybody loved it, but I'm with Ellen on that one.
When it comes to music, I'm not sure Matt George sources are on Speculate.
All right,
are
we'll double check
point. We need to get them on the phone and let's have a conversation.
We'll double check it. We will. It brings me no joy to report. The Lakers have figured a few things out. We're back with that. Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Mostly clear skies tonight, turning partly cloudy as we head into Saturday morning. Temperatures will begin in the upper 50s to lower 60s, then warm into the mid-80s with mostly sunny skies. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. Whether you purchase a new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, Elk Grove Honda has the right Honda at the right price. In the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options. Heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
It's time for the madness, and your HVAC system is in a full court press. Cold mornings, warm afternoons. Your heater and AC are battling, and your system is working overtime. Don't let your comfort get knocked out. Score Brower Mechanical's Madness BOGO Special. Buy a heating maintenance and get a free AC maintenance for just $89. Call 916-352-3113. Brower Mechanical. Residential and commercial HVAC sales and service. License number 1081055.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Upgrade your parking spot during Sky River Casino's $1 million Park Your New Ride giveaway for a chance to win a brand new Audi Q7. Grab a free daily entry at our promo kiosk, and with 100 bonus entries every Monday, your luck could turn to luxury. Winners drawn every Saturday in March and April, with 2 guaranteed Audi Q7 winners during our grand finale drawings. Visit skyriver.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or over.
Download the app and listen to The Drive Guys.
The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
Yeah, that's the guy, Alan. He's not here today. Some people have been wondering, hey, where's Alan Stiles? I'm glad you played that, Jake, because I could not remember his name, but it's Alan Stiles. Alan has today off because tomorrow's his birthday, so he's...
Yes, sir.
Hanging around with some buddies today around here. Then he's going to Napa. Did you catch this, Jay, a couple days ago when he was telling us? This was, I think, right after the show, maybe Tuesday or Monday. And he's like, yeah, Friday we're going to go do this and that. And then he goes, oh, you guys can come by if you want. Did you catch that?
I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah. It was one of those, you're not really invited, but I'm kind of obligated to,
really?
Oh, yeah, you guys, if you want to swing by, that's fine. And then anyway... Saturday, we're going to Napa.
I didn't catch it.
Yeah.
I should call and be like, where you at tonight, big dog?
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, he mentioned 18 different places through Sacramento. I said, man, what are you guys going to stop at everywhere 30 minutes and move on?
Well, I think part of that was because he didn't really want us catching up to him. So he's like, we're going to be here, and then I'm going to be there. And then
threw me off the trail?
Yes.
Yeah. He's like, oh, we might go to Thunder Valley. Oh, we might go to Tiger. We might go. I was like, man, what? How many places did you plan on hitting this evening, big fella?
Yeah. And I don't know, that trip to Napa, nothing against Napa, but I don't know if that's going to be all it's cracked up to be, right?
I will say this, man. And I you know what I told myself? I said, I'm going to reserve judgment. I'm going to let Alan and the fellas do their 1-2 this weekend. And then Monday, I ask them, how did it go? Hopefully they have a ball. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Celebrate the friendship, fellowship, fellas. Birthday, celebrate bachelor party, right, as well. That's the whole thing in Napa. But after, we truly need to have a conversation about his friend group and the destinations these cats are choosing. Because no disrespect to Guerneville, no disrespect to Napa. As I've said, Napa is a worldwide destination. But I ain't really heard too many gentlemen talking about they slide through Napa for a bachelor party.
And I'm figuring he played baseball for a long time. Some of his friends are probably baseball players.
They gotta be.
And baseball players, I mean, you tell me,
Gotta
they're
be.
not like Let's go to Guerneville. And
I don't know too many kayak, wine sipping baseball players, man.
Right.
Kayaking, but I could be wrong. And I mean, obviously I am, because his friend group has chosen some very peculiar destinations to celebrate bachelor party.
Brewery, and then we'll turn in early. And then we'll read it. We'll do some reading.
When you said they were going antiquing, man, I lost it. I literally lost it, Whitey. Because when you go to Napa, which is Helena, Calistoga,
St. Helena,
spectacular.
Yes.
Spectacular area, right? Like Napa, again, if you haven't had an opportunity, and I know I'm speaking here locally, most people, I would imagine, have driven through, visited Napa. If you're an adult of some sort and you're a connoisseur of, the grapes.
Mm-hmm.
But spectacular area, no doubt about it. I just don't know if I've ever been in Napa post 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Because everything is shutting down.
Yep. And then they're going to play golf, and there's some beautiful courses there. Oh, we're going to play a 9-hole, but we're going to play it twice. Okay.
Man, listen.
All right.
Hey, shouts out to Alan's friend group, man.
Yes. And happy birthday, Alan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
peculiar. Very peculiar bunch of fellas, I must say.
We have a final, Jay.
Utah State,
86, Villanova 76, a 9 over an 8. Hopefully that doesn't do any damage to your bracket.
Unless you chose it.
Are you keeping a kind of a theoretical bracket?
I did one. Apples and oranges on the line, a little fruit. But yeah, I did just one.
Okay.
But Whitey, I could care less, because I've only, in the times that I've done it, I'm pretty sure you've done it for at least 20 years. You've been in the sports game for a while. You've probably done it at least 20 brackets, right? I haven't been close but 2 or 3 times in my lifetime, 42 years old. And so I could, it's for the fun. Mm-hmm. It's for the giggles.
It's kind of like what Dieter Kurtenbach said when he was on a couple days ago. If you don't have a bracket, and for those who do it and love it, great. But you're also free. For example, today, I wasn't sitting there going, man, I like Santa Clara, but I want Kentucky to win because I picked them. No, it's like, come on, let's go, Broncos.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I do it. That's why I only do one. I do one, and I only do one because, great friend of ours does a huge thing. But, so I do one, but I'm not deadlocked on what's going on. Hey, listen, if it hits, it hits.
Mm-hmm.
If I picked that game right, then I did. If not, hey, I'm with you. I'm more of a fan than anything.
Yeah, what do you think of these people that do 4, not 5,
not
come on,
6?
How many brackets you got, Alan? Not 4, not 5.
12, a dozen. Man.
Whatever works. Whatever you have fun with.
Yeah. But remember, Alan is a drive guy.
Yes.
But he's also, he's part of the group that goes to Guerneville and Napa for bachelor parties. So wouldn't surprise me, but the big dog's doing 12 brackets.
So he's a Guerneville guy.
Yeah,
too.
he is a Guerneville guy.
Yeah.
Seriously, like bachelor party in Guerneville.
Yeah. Sounds like somebody made a mistake there, huh?
Yeah, they did. They did.
Yeah. Jay, I'm not really crazy about this. Touched on it yesterday, but the Lakers have now won 8 in a row. Luka scored 60 last night. LeBron tied the games played record of 1,611, which he currently shares with Robert Parrish. The Lakers win in Miami, and they figured some things out. All of a sudden, they look like they're a team that might make some noise in the postseason, rather than, a bunch of overhyped losers.
Well,
which is how I prefer.
Right, I'm with you. I would say, I'm going to say the joke there. I had to catch myself. I would say this. Luka is a star, and we've seen him take his team, amongst other good players, but take his team to the Western Conference Finals. He's battled the Warriors a few times in the second round of the playoffs, right? And so it
went
doesn't.
To the finals.
Yeah. Doesn't surprise me that Luka has understood, looked at the calendar and said, it's about that time. Time to flip the switch, get it cooking. LeBron is LeBron. And even though he's not 2015 LeBron, he still knows it's time. It's calendar time to flip the switch. with both of those guys and surrounding players, I could see them making a run somewhere along the lines of, a second run, maybe a Western Conference Finals. Now, they make it to the finals, something has got to give, but I expected them to be where they're at. Luka's a ball player, man.
Oh, I know.
We're still talking about LeBron.
Yeah. I mean, it was just a few weeks ago. You look up the numbers. I don't know where they are now. I'm sure they've at least shifted. But the Lakers were not a very good team when they had Luka and LeBron and Reeves on the floor at the same time, which is like, chemistry issues, whatever.
Right.
But LeBron, and I give him a ton of credit for this, which, again, is not something I like to do, but you have to. He has recognized, all right, this works best if Luka's the guy and I may be the third option. And they don't run things through him as much. And in some ways, he's more effective because he's not the focal point of the defense, and he's just been incredibly efficient. And it's all of a sudden it's working. And then the other thing that stands out to me just watching them is DeAndre Ayton. We talked yesterday about like the alligators. Like, is it alive? Is it alive? He's playing well.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's realized his position, and he said as much in the last 48 hours. And that's why I mentioned the calendar. I think you have to start to look at, you sit in the locker room, you look around, and sometimes you just soak in the moment and you realize, like, okay, we're not getting it done, and we need to change some things. And I think the Lakers have figured that out, albeit, we're talking about greats. LeBron could be considered the GOAT. Luka's one of, top 3, 4, 5 players in the league, whoever you ask. And so I think it's a long season, Whitey, and you know that just as better as I do, just as well as I do. It's a long season, and there's lulls. They started off well. There was a lull in the middle. They turn the heat up right now, and I don't really want to give them a pat on the back, but they're playing well. We'll see how it goes. I think they're trying to make sure they get right as the calendar approaches April, middle of April, last month. It's time to flip the switch. It's time to get ready for playoff basketball, and let's see if we can get this thing rolling. And I think they are. It's no different than some other teams too. So, we'll see how it all plays out here in the next couple of months.
Meanwhile, Steve Kerr said something about Jonathan Kuminga that I think is going to divide Jay and I. And I think there's going to be a deep gulf between us. We'll see if we can find a way to bridge that gulf when we come back. Drive Guy, Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.
Touchdown 49ers! Every game on your #1 sports station. Don't miss the action on your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-224-5353. That's 800-224-5353. Again, that's 800-224-5353.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at pepsipromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of PepsiCo Inc.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles on Sactown Sports 1140.
Yeah, happy birthday, Alan Stiles. Tomorrow's his birthday. His guy, Philon, scored, I think, 29 points today in Alabama's win, so he'll be happy. But we mentioned, Jay and I were kidding, a couple days ago, Alan was telling us what he had planned tonight, and then he kind of was being nice. He kind of threw out there, like, oh, yeah, you guys can come by if you want. And it was kind of one of those obligatory, I don't really want you to come, but I have to invite you, something like that. And I was just telling Jay, the worst one like that I ever got, or the most clear, like, non-invitation invitation was years ago doing a radio show at the Super Bowl, Radio Row, and it was me and Mark Kreidler. And at the time, Mark Kreidler's son, Ryan, was either, I think he was just about to be drafted. So, you know, I think he already had an agent, but he would be in the market for an agent, things like that. We were doing an interview with Lee Steinberg, and the famous agent. You know, Jerry Maguire supposedly was, or at least may have been based in part on Lee Steinberg. So Lee Steinberg's sitting there next to Mark Kreidler, and he's like, well, we're having our big party. And he looks to Mark Kreidler and goes, you should come to my party. And he looks over at me, across the desk, says, you can come too. And it was like, all right.
Thank you.
I was not going to come. I did not assume I was invited. You just told me. There's no more clear way you could tell me I was not invited.
Stretch, you didn't hold him up to it?
I did
You didn't be like, you know, after you have the interview and then hey, Lee, appreciate you coming by.
Yeah, let me get your text number.
Right. Half the time is a handler there. You're like, yo, let me and my people connect with you and maybe, you know, we'll put me on the list. Or,
yeah.
You didn't do none of that.
I'm telling you need me there, Lee.
Dang. That's tough, man.
That was okay.
That's tough.
Like, whoa, okay.
I think we've all been in that position where, you know, you would something or someone and, you know, like, oh, yeah, pull up and, man, bring them too. You know, like, nah, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm all right. I don't need to piggyback on it.
Yeah. It's kind of high level read the room.
It is.
But in this case, I didn't require very high
He was
level.
like, yeah, you come too.
You can come too. I don't want to go to your stupid party.
He must didn't know he was in the room with Stretchy B, man.
I guess.
Yeah.
His loss.
Which Super Bowl? Which one was that?
It probably was the San Francisco. You know, what was that? The Broncos and the
Panthers.
Panthers. Yeah. The Cam Newton. I think it was that Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, as I recall. You know, we were just talking about LeBron. And bear with me here. I want to make a point, but I'm not trying to go down that well-worn path of who's the GOAT. I just think, and I've tried to make this point before. I don't know if I've done it very well. You look at LeBron now, and last night he tied the record for most games played. No matter what you think of him or Michael Jordan and what your opinion is, I think it's a fact that at some point here in another 3 to 5 years, Michael Jordan's not going to have a chance because people just won't remember him. And LeBron A, people remember him. B, when you look him up, yeah, the 6 championships are phenomenal, but, people are going to see LeBron's the leading scorer of all time, most games played, and all of that. I don't think Michael's going to have much of a shot. Those who saw him play and remember him, those who played against him will always say he was the greatest, but I just think the consensus is in the process of shifting towards LeBron, and I think it's kind of inevitable.
I think you're spot on, Whitey. I would say, and even, we had the GOAT conversation that Tirico and Jordan had on NBC a couple of weeks ago. Time, and we had Steve Ashburner on just a minute ago, and he was talking about how, Wilt Chamberlain should never be forgotten. He should always be brought up about his greatness, the GOAT conversation, and just how outstanding he was and some of the feats that he was able to accomplish. And so time will definitely move the, I guess, and I'm trying to make sure that you don't disrespect Michael Jordan, you don't disrespect Kobe, you don't disrespect Captain Kareem Abdul, Larry Bird, people like that. But as we move away from there, time will unfortunately move away from their greatness, because there will be less and less people to tell those stories, right? The folklore. And that's kind of where we're at. And that's one of the things, like, I love to ask what Jerry Reynolds is, because we don't know what you don't know if you haven't seen it or read about it.
We're very visual creatures.
Absolutely,
yeah,
right?
And we know that, but I learn it. I'm reminded of it every day. You have people who do things. I'm talking about, sports, whatever, celebrities. You read that they did something wrong. It's like, oh, that's terrible. But if there happens to be video of it,
Ray Rice.
Exactly.
Made it 10 times worse.
Exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but you're right.
Yep.
If people see it, it's like, oh, that's the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
And so if you saw LeBron and you never saw Michael, that's Jordan guy, that sounds great. But, man, I saw LeBron.
Got to see him.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be somewhere along the line, there's a line that's going to be set, because, we talk about Wilt in 65 or whatever. It was 65. Yeah, I think 66, 67, somewhere around there.
Well, he scored 162, and because there's no film of it, no one
cares, right?
People think it didn't even happen.
Yeah, it's like,
people say, nah, that didn't happen.
Can't be.
Yeah,
Kobe
I didn't
led
see it, so it couldn't happen.
For me, I think that's why so many people were distraught the fact that Bam outscored Kobe. And this is where I'm kind of going, is there's going to be a line where now we have film, pictures. There's so much now that you evidence that you can see that this happened. 60s, 70s, and things beyond. Before that, it's still a little hazy.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. It's like, man. But now we're getting into the 80s and the 90s, and for sure 90s and 2000s. I mean, pictures and videos are everywhere, especially now. So there's going to be some type of, and Alan talked about this, BC AD, before Christ, after death. There's going to be something that's going to be there where it's like, yeah, but we had this on film.
Yeah.
We got to see LeBron in 99 when he was this, or we got to see LeBron in high school. We saw high school All-American Kobe. We got to see, Jermaine O'Neal come out of high school versus, I don't really remember John Lucas. Oh, man, I don't really It takes the Jerry Reynolds, it takes the Stretchy B's to tell those stories.
Steve Ashburner.
Yeah, Steve Ashburners.
Yeah. Well, to that point, Jay, and I know you saw Soul Power. We may have talked about it,
Loved
the
it.
ABA documentary. And I don't believe there is any footage of the first game the ABA played.
They didn't have it.
There's no film exists of the first game. So
yeah. Because and when they said that, then they kicked to like 3 games into the season or something.
Yeah.
Like, this was the first one that was recorded. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Now that's blasphemy, right?
Right.
But that's just the way the game was back then. I mean, the NBA wasn't getting shown that much.
Yeah.
So how could a second-tier type league, be recording what they needed to be? Who would have knew the ABA would have had the staying power, the soul power that it has today? It's made so much of a huge, I guess, addition to basketball.
Yeah. I mean, it's the legacy survives, which is one of the cool things about that documentary. But anyway, Steve Kerr said some things about Kuminga. Jay, you and I know we're on opposite sides of the court on this one. Steve Kerr said, essentially, and he said it to our buddy Nick Friedel, Matt George say was, I don't know, is it Friedel? I don't know how you say his name. It's
Really?
Nick Friedel. Yeah,
Nick Friedel.
He doesn't know Nick Friedel. Nick
Okay.
Friedel's a great guy.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
We'd love to get him on. He just has some competing media rights that he can't jump on our ear.
Nick Friedel talked to Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr said, if Jonathan Kuminga had been drafted by a bad team, he would have developed into a better player sooner. The fact that we drafted him when we were a good team had worked against him. I've been saying that for 5 years since it happened, but my guess is that you feel like, and you're not alone if you do, Steve Kerr kind of making excuses for his own shortcomings in this regard.
I may surprise you with this one.
Okay.
Because, yes, the latter, I definitely agree. Steve Kerr, the Warriors, they completely messed that situation up with Kuminga. That's just the way I believe it. But, yeah, no blank. I think, yes, if he would have went to the Hawks or, Washington or Sacramento or
Rockets, who were terrible at that time, he would have played 36 minutes a night.
Absolutely. Of course he would have. And we would have got to see, and I'm not sure, and Steve Kerr, he said, he would have developed faster. I'm not sure if he would have developed faster, but we would have known who he is a lot sooner than what we still, like even to this day, we still don't know what JK is. So I think we would have had some resolution, some answers to some of the questions that we've had. And I think part of the issue is, albeit no one's sitting here saying that JK is perfect and he's, God's gift to basketball. I've never said that. But I've definitely said that it takes a community. It truly does. When you're talking about manifesting a heck of a ball player and assisting them in being the best that they possibly can be. A lot of it comes from the player, no doubt about it. But if attributes didn't come from coaches or organizations, we wouldn't be talking about them. That we wouldn't even have them. We wouldn't have general managers. We wouldn't have coaches. So it takes that. It takes all the different all the different ways to love a player and really manifest them to being best. I just think Steve Kerr and some of the people around him in the organization just didn't do JK no favors.
Yeah, tomorrow night, I think the Warriors have Detroit tonight, and tomorrow night, Warriors at Hawks. Jonathan Kuminga, another opportunity. I might be. That's League Pass, but I should be able to get that game. It's going to be college basketball on, and isn't there an ABC game on at that time? I think I might, Jay. I've got the missus is a big Kuminga fan.
She is.
Yeah.
So when Kuminga,
the Warriors are a hard watch right now.
They are.
Yeah.
They just, there's about 6, 7, 8, 9 hard watches in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
Probably a third of the teams. Right. Mm-hmm. When Jonathan Kuminga name comes up in the Gleason household, how do you guys go about the conversation? You guys have been married for a long time, so I know you guys got strategies and all kind of ways to get around, quarrels.
Well, it's not really a quarrel, and at this point, she hasn't seen him as much. She watched him more when he was on the Warriors, so I think she's kind of just more aware of that. Oh, it didn't work out. That's too bad. Probably doesn't follow him as closely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would have been really interesting if he'd come here, and maybe he still does.
Season tickets might have been back on the brink.
Yes. So I'm hoping. You never know. Can the Kings, meanwhile, can they afford to settle into that 4th spot of the lottery? With a potentially very winnable game or two coming up. That's what we'll dive into next. Don't go away, Drive Guys. It's Friday, damn it!
Live and local.
With everything 49ers.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Dives for the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco! Paul George went up and caught the ball. Touchdown!
The 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
The spring sale is in bloom at Scandinavian Designs. For a limited time, enjoy huge savings on select modern furniture and decor, including pieces for your living room, bedroom, dining room, and beyond. This is your chance to refresh a favorite space or dream up an entirely new look. Stop by one of our local showrooms or shop online at ScandinavianDesigns.com. Scandinavian Designs. We make it simple. You make it home.
Jackson Hewitt has a great tax prep deal, $149 or less. Missing out is like ignoring the check engine light in your car. You'll regret it. Seriously, the price is only $149 or less, no matter how complicated. So don't wait. Like when you get a password expires today alert or you're shopping online and there's only one item left. It's like your taxes are in the cart. Just complete the purchase. Hurry. This deal for $149 or less is like your phone at 1%. It's about to power down. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
Save $10 on a pair of Rain-X Latitude wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Our professional parts people will even install them for free.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Bring your visions to life with smart business buying tools and technology from Amazon Business. From fast, free shipping to in-depth buying insights and automated purchase approvals, we deliver everything you need to achieve your goals. Go to AmazonBusiness.com for support.
What's going on? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. He's here to tell us what's going on for the Declaration of Deal sales event.
Come learn the art of savings with Hoblet when you save up to $13,500 off MSRP on new 2026 Ram 2500 and 3500s. Some are even available with 0% financing for 36 months. Plus, with the return of the iconic 5.7-liter Hemi with an all-new 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, you'll find what you already know. This is the best Ram yet.
But do you have the Ram I'm looking for?
Yes, and if we don't, we'll order it for you. The reason we are consistently one of the top Ram dealers on the West Coast is our huge Ram inventory, with over 400 available, including those hard-to-find heavy duties.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$13,500 net savings on select new 2026 Ram 2500 Limited Longhorns after $1,500 factory rebates. Discounts include $1,000 Hoblet business owner bonus with proof of business ownership. Rebates include $500 on the job upfit, much eligible upfit. Sample VIN 152135. 0% financing for 36 months, only available through SFS for well-qualified buyers in lieu of all rebates. $27.77 per 1,000 borrow. See dealer for details.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Hope you're well. Hope your bracket's in good shape. And we also wish the best to somebody who's been apparently a little under the weather, former Sacramento King Kenny Smith.
Yeah.
If you watch CBS's morning coverage of the tournament, you might notice that Renee Montgomery joined Adam Zucker and Charles Barkley. And Zucker noted that Kenny Smith under the weather for day 2 of the tournament. So last night he went home early. Charles Barkley said, "Keep your shirt on at the beach, Kenny." So he was having some fun with it. But hopefully Kenny Smith is feeling better. Some fans, though, are wondering whether he was sick or he just didn't want to deal with the fallout from North Carolina's loss, Jay.
Yeah. I mean, hey, could be part of it.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk enough smoke, you got to accept the smoke that come back your way.
Terrible loss for UNC. They blew a What they blow a 19-point lead last night. Hubert Davis played his regulars a lot of minutes, and we was asked about it after the game. If it was about fatigue, he didn't seem to respond very well to that. So a bad loss for the Tar Heels. Hopefully Kenny Smith is feeling better already. The biggest loser of this tournament, I got to tell you, I think it's me for this reason.
Okay.
I have a Capital One Bank card, and I think it's a wonderful product. I think Charles Barkley is tremendous, a talent on the court as an announcer. Samuel Jackson is great, and Spike Lee's phenomenal. But you put that all together for those stupid Road to the Final Four commercials. They're the worst thing I've ever seen, Jay. I hate them. They make me almost feel physically ill because they're so stupid.
Man,
I just saw the new one today. Every year I hope, okay, they're not going to have them this year. Finally, somebody just decided, we're done. And I saw one today, and they're having a slumber party, and it's just, they're really dumb.
Dude, I had no clue you paid paid that close attention to
all those people are so much better than all of that, and they must get a ton of money.
Oh, you already know. That's why it's about it. Come on.
A ton of money for it.
You telling me you wouldn't do it?
I'd like to hope I wouldn't.
Okay.
I just wish somebody said, we're not paying you guys all that money. Whatever it takes for that to just go away. Every year. I'm not kidding. Every year. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to jinx it. Maybe they won't have it this year. Then I saw the one today with the slumber party and Charles Barkley's asleep. And then they put shaving cream on his hand and then they tickle his nose. And then he goes, Come on, man. You're Spike Lee.
I haven't seen it. So I wouldn't know.
All right.
Yeah.
Somebody must like it because they bring it back every year.
Must love it.
Whew. Today we saw Kentucky barely avoid an upset at the hands of Santa Clara. It went into overtime. Miraculous finish. Santa Clara scoring with about 3 seconds left, go up by 3. And then is it Otega Owe? Gets the inbounds pass, 3 seconds, 2, dribbles across half court, lets it fly, banks it in. 3 that forces overtime, and Kentucky prevails. So that was a heartbreaker for Santa Clara. But I don't know, Jay. It's easy after the fact to go, oh, well, that's great. You almost won. But anybody who's competed is like, no, you don't feel that way, especially when you thought with 3 seconds left, you're going, we just won this game. So.
Yeah, I thought it was over.
Yeah.
It's like, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
Then, nope.
Yep.
Overtime.
So as we discussed, some people said, well, they should have fouled right away. You and I agree, no, that would not have been a smart move. Maybe it would have worked, but don't blame them for not fouling.
No, yeah. I definitely don't. I would have played it out the way that it was played out, and, I would have gave up the 3 just like Santa Clara did.
Yeah. You want to throw one in, bank one in from 52? All right, good
Go
luck.
Ahead.
Went in.
Yeah. I might, if I am Herb Sendek and I wanted a timeout, though, I might have literally went and belly flopped on half court to make sure I got a timeout. Like, I almost ran into, get, the officials' attention. And there's so many steal shots and people talking about the situation that Herb Sendek, coach of Santa Clara, wanted a timeout and he didn't get it. But it's just so many things going on at the time.
Are you saying after the made basket?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
After Santa Clara hit the 3.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
right.
You could see clear, like there's no doubt about it. So many people have been talking about it. It's kind of been the talk of social media, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, that Herb was calling a timeout. He didn't get one,
right,
but you could clearly see the official that was on the sideline had his back to Sendek and was looking at the play. So who knows?
Interesting.
Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But if it's me, we've seen it before. Coaches literally run into the court and call a timeout, right? I probably would have done that.
Yeah.
That's probably
then, you could get a T and then you get an extra free throw.
Yeah, I know. I get it. But at that time, because of the situation of the game, I think the officials would have gave him the timeout. You're trying to get our attention. There you go, sir. Mm-hmm. Now, compared to the complete opposite, which is now, so many pundits are talking about he didn't get the timeout, and he should have gotten the timeout, and it didn't happen. So
Then you could have fouled if you wanted to.
True. Yeah, you could have figured it out.
Inbound, yeah.
And I think that's what they were trying to do, was set their defense, number one, and number two, make a decision how they're going to go about the play. He didn't get the timeout, and the rest is history. And I'm pretty sure we'll continue to talk about it because so many people are talking about it today until the next big thing happens in the tournament, and then we'll forget about it.
Mm-hmm. Have you forgotten about this already? 76ers 139, Kings 118?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. Didn't even recognize it, actually. Didn't know what happened.
Mm-hmm. You didn't spend a lot of time watching that one last night?
That'd be a no.
Okay, yeah. Maxime Raynaud had 30 points. The Kings now 18-53, and then they've got a Sunday matinee against the lowly Nets coming up. 3 o'clock, I think, is the game time. Here's my question.
It is 3 o'clock.
Yeah. If you're the Kings right now, you've got 15 wins for Indiana, 16 for Washington, 17 for Brooklyn, and you're at 18. So you're fourth right now. You're 3.5 ahead in the lottery standings of Utah with, 11 to go. So you should be in position where you don't have to worry so much about Utah, because I think they actually won last night. So you're looking at moving into the top 3 or not. Here's my question, Jay. Brooklyn is just absolutely terrible. They scored, 24 points in the first half of the game this week. If you're the Kings going into this game on Sunday, is it possible you say, look, if we're fourth, we're going to have a good shot at a good player. Let's just settle for that. We're okay there, rather than just humiliate ourselves by trying to lose to the Nets. And I'm not sure what the answer is, but I can see it at this point. I've been tank. The Nets are so bad, you would have to go to extreme measures, I would think, to give yourself a chance to lose that game. And maybe you're better off going, look, if everything they throw up goes in, fine, but we're not going to lower ourselves. We're not going to stoop to that level.
So what's the question?
The question is, if you're the Kings, do you say, no, we've got to lose this game, whatever it takes? Or, and this is what I'm starting to come around to, you say, they're terrible. We'll take the win, we move on. We're just not going to lower ourselves. We're not going to sit everybody and try to lose, because you have to really, really, really play badly to lose to the Nets right now. And you're fourth.
Yeah.
Right now. And maybe it's if we end up fourth, that's fine. We're not going to just humiliate ourselves in front of our home fans.
Whitey, it's my job to care, right? It's my job to have an opinion on it. But honestly, either way, for me, personally, speaking personally, I'll accept both, because these are the cards that's given to you in the league. And I also can understand a team that just wants to win. As you talk about, players and coaches don't go out there to lose.
Yeah.
So I can understand both sides of the argument. I can understand both sides of the fence. And I'm willing to accept, as a Kings fan, I'm willing to accept either.
Yeah.
Personally, that's just me. I understand each camp has their own support. Each camp has some naysayers.
Yeah.
So I understand that.
I'm kind of moving from one camp to the other.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, because I've been, you got to lose all these games. But I think of what it would take to put yourself in position where you're probably going to lose to the Nets. And I'm thinking, I don't know that it's worth it.
It's not for you.
Because I'm already fourth worst. If that's where I am, the odds are still pretty good. I know they could be better, but, it's a lottery. It's a lottery.
Sure.
I'm guaranteed to nothing. And I don't want to go out there and, sit all my players and, bring up G Leaguers to try to lose. You'd have to do probably something like that to lose to the Nets. And I think, at this point, we're not doing that. Take our win and move on.
Yeah. I mean, I understand it. I understand what you're saying. You have a little decency about yourself, Stretch. I get it. I understand.
It does come down to self-respect, especially in front of your own fans. And again, it's a basketball game. Maybe everything the Nets throw in the general direction of the basket goes in and you lose. And then it's like, okay, but I'm not going to lower myself any further than I've already lowered myself.
Understandable. You have standards, and I can get it. I think the Kings, any way, shape, form, or fashion that you can better yourself when it comes to percentages in the lottery, then you do it. But I also understand the morality of, super tanking. So at this point, I think as a Kings fan, and I don't know, I think there's two camps. Maybe there is a third, and maybe I'm in the third, is however and whatever you need to do, then do it. And if that means that you want to stand on morals, you want to stand on standards, and you don't want to, super tank, then I'll accept it. No problem. If you want to go ahead and bring up the whole Stockton roster, then yeah, absolutely. Now, that's just me. Again, I'm not speaking. I don't have season tickets. I don't pay for tickets 99% of the time. Blessed. I have a good, that's not bragging or boasting. That's just part of our job. But the opposite, when you pay for them, I can understand. Whitey, where it's like, you know what? No, I don't want to see, the Stockton G League up here. I want to see some ball players. I want to see professionals. So I can understand both sides of the argument. I truly can.
I think in order to give yourself your best chance to lose that game, you would have to willingly put out a really substandard product. And, that's a line that maybe is not worth crossing at this point in front of your home fans. Again, that's all I'm saying. As you said, however they want to do it, Kings fans can live with. But that's kind of a foot in both camps, because I've been a staunch supporter of lose. Just get as many ping pong balls, so to speak, as you can. But in this case, I look at it because I've been thinking, all right, how do they move up? I don't know. I don't even know if I'm willing to lower myself to that level, Jay.
Not to get below the net standard.
Right.
I this much I know. I'm a firm believer, and this is one of my pet peeves, and I don't hold myself to this standard enough, but I try to make sure I abide by it a little bit. If I'm spending my money, I want something to show for it.
Yeah.
That's me, right?
Yeah.
And I think most people probably fall in that particular side of the fence. So when you are spending your hard-earned money, especially now, when you look around and everything is up and salary is down for the most part, I'm nothing but respect and love for you. If you've got a long time invested, you've been a fan for a while, then absolutely, I'm rocking with you. But I also, and this is why I said maybe there is a third group, I can also understand both sides. I can also understand the fan who's like, no, I get it. I've been here since 90. I've been through the Reggie Theuses in the 80s and whatever else you want to say on top of it. But you want to see something different next year. You want to hope for, AJ DeBonsa, Darren Peterson, and that's probably going to take a top 3 pick. So I'm with either side depending on whatever you're arguing. I know that's a little wishy-washy, but I may be creating a different group, Whitey. I don't know. Maybe there's a third party to maybe Lee Steinberg has invited us to the party.
I like the way you phrased it as you were giving one half of it. It kind of clarified it for me. It would be a matter of saying, you know what? Yeah, we could really go to extreme measures to where we would have a better chance of losing to this sorry team that's not trying to win. But our obligation to our fans who are paying to come see us is greater than what compels us to try to improve our lottery position.
Yeah, that's business thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you bring the Joey Fatones of the world, and you bring, you have to spice up.
Joey Fatone was tanking. He was singing Backstreet Boys. That's the musical equivalent of tanking.
What was 50 doing? Was 50?
I don't
50
know.
lit the beam, didn't he?
Did he?
I think he lit the beam. They won that night. He lit the beam, if I'm not mistaken, because they played the Pacers.
Yeah, that's right.
So he was part of the beam lighting.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is, man.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Carl's been hanging on. Hey, Carl, you're on the drive, guys. How are you?
What is going on, fellas?
Hey.
Look at no super tanking, no tanking.
Mm-hmm.
We're a season ticket holder group since 1985. Original group. Don't believe in it. Just GM better, trade better, draft better, coach better. I mean, look at Steph Curry. He wasn't drafted in the top 4. Klay Thompson wasn't drafted in the top 10. Draymond Green, second round. Jokic, second round. Just develop players and coach better. This model of, we've got to absolutely strip the team down and go OKC is, to me, not a great model. It can work every once in a while, but you still don't have guarantees if you take Peterson or Devontas or any of these guys in the top 2 or 3 picks that they're going to amount to anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think we got to do all the things I said, just better. That's got to be the focus, and I'm hoping that Perry's bringing that to the equation. We just got to do a better job as a basketball organization all the way around.
I totally agree, Carl. Real fast before we let you go, as someone that's been invested into this team in this city for that long, do you feel cheated this year? Has there been a situation you felt cheated?
Yes. This team should be a lot better. They've got talented players. You know, when you look at Zach LaVine's a great athlete, Westbrook's a elite, player on the downhill of his career. I'll admit that. Sabonis is a good player, but injured. That's tough. Keegan's been hurt. So you do have some things that are, you can't control, and we're developing young players. I'm at the point now where I understand that we're developing some of the young guys, and that's fine because they've got to fit in and do better next year, and we're going to decide who's going to stay and who's going to go. But this notion of just, trying to lose every single game, it's frustrating for me as a fan. I don't like it in any way. And, I know the Kings organization has maybe tried to dispute some of this, but our ticket prices are going up next year, and they'll go up the year after that. So expectations around what they're trying to deliver for me, are such that I'd like to see them put out the effort. I understand developing young players and doing all that at this point in the season, absolutely. But just going out there to lose, come on, man, that's ridiculous.
Thank you, Carl. And by the way, what I've heard Dave say, and Carl, if you're a season ticket holder,
he said
bless you.
It's 85. Shouts out to Carl and his ticket group, man.
I know Carmichael Dave. I think he said it on the air. I know he has posted it on social media that the tickets are not going up, and if you have reason to believe they are, you should contact your representative. I just know he has said that.
But Dave ain't spending no money on no season tickets, so to the best of my knowledge. I mean, if he is, then hey, more power to Dave. But this much I know, and this is not a Dave thing. Sometimes you can know just about everything that you need to know, but that doesn't mean you know everything. You follow me, Whitey? And so I get the part of Dave has a direct line to a lot of high-ranking people at the Sacramento Kings. But I'm also say this. Dave ain't picking up the tab for everybody that's a Sacramento King fan. And so I tend to believe, because I know Dave's character, and we're talking about standards and morals.
Yeah.
I'm rocking with CD.
Yeah.
And I believe he has sources and is in the know. But I also understand that every situation is a little different. And if Carl said his ticket is going up, then I would imagine Carl, sounded as sharp as he is, Sacramento King fan, invested in the organization, invested in this team since 85. When I was born a year or so into the game, 2 years. If he's saying a penny more, he's paying a penny more, Whitey, then his tickets is going up, baby.
I understand.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm just sharing because I know Dave has talked a lot about that. But we have this here on the text line, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. From Chris the Mom, I completely agree with Whitey. So we better not hear people say, what are we doing when we win? And then from the 504, you got to respect the game. If you have to play down in order to lose to the Nets, then clearly they need to pick more. Yeah, I just go back to the game against the Pacers. The Kings easily could have just kind of folded up and say, wow, because they were way behind against a team that's not very good, and they came back and won the game. And it's hard for me because I want the Kings to have the best pick they can get. Even though there's no guarantee, I want them to have the best odds of getting the best pick. Yeah. But I understand. It's like you have to have a limit to how low you can go on some of this.
Yeah, you're just standing on morals here, Whitey, and I get it. That just shows the character of who you are and the type of ball player and coach and person you are. Right?
But some of it is respecting yourself, Jay.
And that's why I said who you are, because you would agree that, unfortunately, there are people in our world who don't respect themselves.
Yeah.
And so I think that speaks to who you are, like I said, as a person, as a fan, as someone that's been, been rocking and rolling around the Sacramento area and a part of this organization in some form or fashion for many years, and just being a sports guy as well. And so I respect that, and that's why I respect Chris the Mom. I respect the Carls of the world. I respect the Carmichael Daves. I respect so many different people who are like, yeah, you know what? I just can't do it. I just can't allow myself to stoop that low when it comes to trying to lose to the Nets when they've pretty much put out no one. But I also can understand the opposite fan, too.
Yeah.
I can.
Martin Ramirez in the chat says that is why the NBA needs to vote no on expansion of 2 teams. And he also says this is a home game. I agree with Whitey. Yeah, that's one of the things that's unfortunate for the Kings. They've had the stretch of games here where you could see how, wow, you go on another losing streak. It really benefits you in terms of the lottery. But when you lose a bunch of home games in a row, you do more damage than you know.
Yeah.
Long term.
Yeah. It's a catch-22 for ownership groups.
Jeffrey Simpson. Kings are at rock bottom, almost.
Okay.
What's wrong with going just a bit lower?
I mean, truth. Truth. I mean,
you just
can you argue that?
Well, I'll try.
You've done a little bit.
Yeah,
but,
I see what you're saying, but I mean, it gets to be a point where you're just making a mockery of what you stand for and the game itself. And there's other teams that are more than willing to do that.
Yeah.
We've seen that. But does that mean that's what you want to do? I don't know. I would argue against that just because, look, you might lose anyway. It's basketball. Even if you say, no, we're going to go out and try to win, you might lose anyway. But you're in a decent – you should be in pretty good shape draft-wise as it is.
Yeah.
I'm
with you. And it kind of goes back to what Carl's saying, which is you have to get lucky, but you have to do your due diligence. You need to do a little bit better on the basketball operation side. 916 Sacramento Kings tickets prices are not going up. I've asked my rep if tickets were going down. He said no, but they're also not going up. I get it. Understand what I'm saying is there are specialty circumstances. How about this? I've heard of from a few fans in this forum. They're grandfathered in. They've been like Carl, with the team since '85. If I come in and look for season tickets right now, they're probably going to be a different price than someone who's been with the team since '85. So with that being said, I've heard from other fans who are saying, yeah, the initial price, they're not going up. But because I've been paying a little lower for tickets because I've been grandfathered in, or maybe I'm on a special circumstance, my tickets have to go up, right? And so you get what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. There's special circumstances to everything. And that's why I'm saying is Carl saying his ticket's going up, then I'm going to respect his pocket. That's all I'm saying.
I always respect Carl's pocket. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We'll continue with this conversation if you wish to do so. Also, who's right about college basketball, me or De'Aaron Fox? That when we come back to Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.
Touchdown 49ers! Every game on your #1 sports station. Don't miss the action on your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts.
They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
This is the sound of Jack, buzz cutting his way to a small fortune. To Jack, every time he cuts his own hair, that's $50 right in his pocket. If Jack sees DIY buzz cuts as a saving strategy, Wells Fargo is right behind him. And with their mobile app, tracking his savings is easy. Oh, ouch. However you make money work, we can work with that.
Mobile carriers' message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sunday at 3 o'clock. I have to confess, I have been of the mind that, look, you got to lose here. Whatever it takes to lose because you're trying to improve your lottery position. But looking at the way the Nets have been playing, given the fact that a couple nights ago they scored 24 points in the first half, I don't know from the Kings standpoint, especially when you're at home, if it's worth it to lower yourself to the level you would have to do in order to give yourself a decent chance to lose. Again, it's basketball. There's no guarantees. The Nets could come out and make every shot no matter what you try as the Kings. Maybe they beat you. But I'm just realizing it's really difficult, a tough choice to make. How are we going to lose this game? Well, we can bring up this guy, not play that guy. And in front of your home fans, you're basically saying we are willingly putting a really vastly inferior product on the floor for this game. I understand why you would do that. And I don't know what the Kings are going to do. I think there have been indications of late that they don't want to go there. All I'm saying is, and I haven't said this before, if they decide, nah, we're not lowering ourselves to that level, I would applaud them, Jay.
Okay.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Skip has been hanging on. Hello, Skip. How are you?
Hey, what's up, fellas? Hey, listen, this is why it bothers me, this whole argument about tanking. Because I don't think the people who are supporting it are being genuine. I think it's dishonest to even call it tanking. Why don't we call it what it is? You're either quitting or you're manipulating the game to get a negative effect to benefit you down the road. Either way, call it what it is and then tell me how you defend quitting in professional sports or how you defend manipulating a game. If you manipulate the game and put some money on it, everybody would be up in arms. He's betting on games. He's fixing games. That's all tanking is. If you're trying to manipulate the game by either flat out quitting and not playing up to your capability, or you're trying to manipulate the game, either way, you're still not playing up to your capability, so you lose on purpose. If the people who want to tank call it what it is, quitting or manipulating the game on purpose, I wonder how many people would stand behind it. I don't think they will because they know, and that's why I think it's disingenuous, the entire argument.
Thank you,
That's
Skip.
all I got, fellas. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you. You too. I like that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Skip knows this,
That's
but
game.
just for point of clarification, tanking typically does not involve the players not giving their best effort. Tanking involves an organization that says, you're really good. You ain't playing tonight. Go get them.
Right.
You know, it's
Yeah.
not the players going, I'm not going to try tonight.
Right.
For the
Which
most
is what, but you know, and Skip brings up a great point, because I don't even think I've ever sat down to take a look at that. Is he's 1,000% spot on.
He typically is.
If the players were tanking, they would definitely be under fire. It's the organization, the front office, who's doing the tanking.
Yeah.
But they're not under fire until now, right? Like until Adam Silver is like, we're gonna smack you in the hand, and that little $500K, which
Better
is
watch it. I'll turn this car around.
right. It's like, yeah, okay.
The thing
Pops.
about tanking, Jay, you got to have the will to win every time you set your Converses on the floor. Take it from Coach Hubie.
Coach Hubie.
Yeah.
But I like what Skip is saying, because it's just another way of saying, you manipulating the game.
Mm-hmm.
You really are.
How about Trey? What's Trey got to say on KHCK? Hello, Trey. What's up?
What's happening, y'all? What's happening?
Hey.
Happy Friday.
Thank you.
Hey, look, I want to just address real quick Darren Peterson, like the little stuff that's been coming out about him real quick. I know that's Jay Boy, so, I'm going to try to be light on him, but I just wonder what y'all think about that.
Fire up on him. Hold on. Fire up on him, brother. We ain't running from it.
Hey, I'm about to get him, though, but, the cramping, right? So first he had all this stuff was coming about him pulling himself out of games. He wasn't playing. Then, his coach stopped taking up for him. And I don't know why he coming out. And then the story come out with, 45 minutes of cramping, and he felt like he was going to have to go to the hospital or something. Oh, I got to, my cramps and stuff like that. And I'm like, bro, man the hell up. What is you talking about, bro? How many athletes do you know go through cramping? We all went through it. We all played. You know what I'm saying? Go get your electrolytes, go to the training room, and get it done. But you got a PTSD going in your mind that, this is the cramping thing. And so what I'm trying to say is I know y'all like Darren Peterson, but I don't know if his mental is going to match his athletic ability and what he brings on the court. Because we need somebody strong here, you feel me, like mentally. Because you're going to be doing a lot of losing first before you can win. You know what I'm saying? And that's important to me when I see some of these dogs. When I'm looking at a cat like A-Cuff, who coming from Arkansas or something like that, that's the type of, dog and tag. Caleb Wilson, that ain't going to let it go. That's going to play with hurt. Those type of players. So I just want to know what y'all think about that, man. Happy Friday, man. I'm a dog gang. I'm out.
Thank you, Trey. I don't know if you heard, but we just had Kyle Draper on today, and he was talking about Caleb Wilson. Wasn't he, Jay? And he was talking about that dog
mentality. Was talking about Caleb.
I think you make a great point, Trey.
Yeah, he does.
I truly do.
Yep.
And I'm, a bigger Peterson supporter than I think Jay is.
Yeah, I'm a Devonta guy.
Yeah. But it's a great point. Everything that happened with him and his reaction to it, if he had the full body cramps. The story is, and I think the story is he did go to the hospital, but it's also the story is that since that happened, as you pointed out, he apparently has had some PTSD, as you called it. And if that's an issue, I got to be really sure that, okay, are we beyond that? What's the deal with that? Yeah, if that's an issue, bless him. I hope he gets the help he needs to get beyond that. But I can't be investing in that guy.
Yeah,
that's my
1,000%.
number one pick if he's struggling with that.
Whitey, what do you always say? We have the smartest fans in the game?
Yes.
What's the phrase?
Yes. Yeah.
How you
smartest listeners / viewers in all of radio YouTube.
Man, two good calls right there. Trey,
yes.
spot on. Man, you speaking game right there, Trey. I am a Devonta guy. I've been a Devonta guy more than anything, but I've actually kind of come around to, and maybe because Peterson I'm taking the underdog role, and that's not saying much because he's still probably going to be a top 5 pick. But I feel like people are jumping off his bandwagon due to some of the things that Trey is talking about, and for good reason. I just think he's super talented, as probably 30 guys in the draft. But as Trey makes a great point, it really takes the whole, and that's why I talked about the community, right? It takes the community of basketball when we're talking about Kuminga. It's going to take his family, his agent, friends, the organization, and also him to become the best that he possibly can be. And if he has some type of resignation of, not being the greatest or not being who he wants to be because of, as Trey said, the PTSD of the cramping,
right?
Then, yeah, if I'm the Kings, knowing what it probably takes to become, a high-level star here in Sacramento and all the nonsense you have to deal with, I'm probably out on it.
Yeah, that's serious if that's going on. And wish him the best.
Definitely.
Get that solved.
Please.
For your sake, for everybody's sake. It's better for basketball if you get that resolved. But if I'm the Kings, where I am now, and considering the amount of money and equity that I'd be investing in that guy right now, it's like, I can't hitch my wagon to you.
Not doing it.
If that's going on, I just can't afford to do it. Wish you all the best, but I can't do it.
Mentally, if you're not 1,000% in being a star, which is what the Kings need, a star-level player, then if there's any reservation of that not happening with Darren Peterson because of, as Trey said, the PTSD, the remembering of cramping, to where he's like, I don't never want to experience that again, then I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm with the A-cups of the world.
And by the way, I don't blame him if that's actually what happened.
Sure.
45 minutes of full-body cramping. I wouldn't want that again either.
I don't even know what that even
I've
feels
never
like.
heard of that.
Man, the worst, and I don't know, the worst position you've ever been in, Whitey, and you can explain it, but going into my freshman year of college, I was a freshman, and we had, they have hell week in football and all. We had conditioning like 2 weeks for baseball, and this was in the fall semester, so we weren't even close to season. I thought I was in good shape at that time. Coming out of high school, competing on 2-3 different sports, I was in great shape, I felt like. No, I wasn't. Wasn't even close. And you know how it goes. You go to college and they put you with like the football trainer. It's the cat that's over the top wants you to put up 63 reps of 250 pounds. Like, dude, I'm not a D lineman. I'm not that guy. But I learned very quickly there is a difference between high school and college. And on top of, I thought I was in good shape. Nah, there are people who are in great shape. And man, Whitey, I was living in apartments. I couldn't even walk up the stairs, Stretch. I mean, I was creeping up the stairs. That's how bad of shape that I was in.
Yeah.
When it came to the next level. And so if he had, and I didn't have whole body cramps. I say all that to say I didn't have whole body cramps. If it's worse than that, then I don't never want to experience that.
Yeah. The other thing is I got to talk to the doctors. If the doctors say, yeah, he had this because of this, his electrolytes were low or whatever, or he didn't drink enough water, whatever, then it's like, okay. But if the doctors say, yeah, we don't really know why it happened, that's another reason I don't know if I can hitch my wagon to that guy, right?
Man.
And I don't know what the case is.
You're right.
But I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of it. And they'll do the medicals and everything. But like you said, he could have been dehydrated. Anything could have been going on. He could have had the wrong food in the system. I have no clue. But
that's why I'm giving him a Gatorade guy. You always got to have Gatorade for DP. If he needs one, you got to.
It's in his contract.
Always.
That a boy.
Always. I don't care where he is.
Get your electrolytes up. Yeah.
Yes.
Nah, but here we go. It takes that part of the community to understand and recognize you're gonna need a Gatorade guy.
Yeah.
You definitely somebody. Director of Rec 44, Peterson has a garter snake. I think he's a garden snake mentality.
I don't know what that is.
What is that like?
I don't know.
Is it because you know how it is? Most people are definitely afraid of snakes. So you see a snake and you're like, oh, he's gonna be it's an anaconda, the boa constrictor, a rattler. And you see a snake and you're like, oh, you panic. It's like, oh, it's a garden snake. So
I gotcha.
Garden snakes aren't, they're a snake, but they really aren't that scary.
You got any snakes in your yard?
No, I live, man. I'm in like a neighborhood. Yeah,
we got snakes in the backyard.
Really? Yeah, but you got like a Bambi nativity scene in the back of your yard. You got birds, Jake the bird. You got cats who who've nested in the area. You got a pool.
It smells like we got something under the house, but I don't know what it is.
Really?
It's something.
Didn't this happen like last year? Didn't y'all have to pull out a gopher or something last year?
I've had to pull out a possum or two.
That just happened, though.
I don't know how they get under there and then they don't get out, but yeah, we'll see. Yes, and from
it's a house over on stilts.
It is. It's a pier foundation. You know.
Really?
Yeah.
You live on the beach and ain't telling nobody?
Just stuff under there. From possums to Fox. Yeah, as I promised. Who's right about college basketball? Me or De'Aaron Fox? 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. You got any thoughts? We'd love to hear them on Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
There are many reasons to choose Gonzalez Law Offices. As a dedicated trial lawyer with an undefeated record from 2016 through 2019, and you'll know that no case is too big or too small. Due to his success, hard work, and commitment to excellence, attorney Jonathan Gonzalez has been listed in Super Lawyers Rising Stars, as well as in the top 40 under 40 list by national trial lawyers. You can find Gonzalez Law Office online at saclegaldefense.com or call him at 916-304-9187.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at pepsipromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of Pepsi Going.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Carmichael Dave letting you know it's no secret the world feels unpredictable lately. One thing will never change, Hoblet's mission to drop high prices. Right now, and only at Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland, you can get 4.99% financing for up to 84 months on all new vehicles in stock and keep every factory rebate that you qualify for when you finance with Hoblet's preferred lender. That's 4.99% financing. You keep all the factory rebates you qualify for, not one or the other like other dealers are offering. Only Hoblet has fought to get you a deal this good. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. 4.99% APR available on select new vehicles in stock while supplies last. Pricing and savings may vary by model and trim. Financing on approved credit through Hoblet Preferred Lending for well-qualified buyers. $60,000 max finance, approximately $14.14 per thousand financed. Residency restrictions and lender membership requirements may apply. See dealer for details.
My rhyming whenever I'm in the mood to do so. A pioneer like Robinson Crusoe. You know like I know that my rhymes flow. So get in the flow.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
We're talking about basketball limbo. How low are the Kings willing to go against the Nets on Sunday? I'm, for the first time, saying, I don't know if you want to go as low as you're going to have to go to have a chance to beat the Nets, but we're sparking an interesting debate there. Before we get back to that, we're also talking about NCAA March Madness. And today, of course, Kentucky won a crazy one in overtime over Santa Clara. Jay, you talked about Coach Sendek calling timeout right before Kentucky hit the shot that forced the OT, a three that banked in from 52, whatever. And yeah, I hadn't realized that, but I see it now. Coach is clearly calling for a timeout, and it does appear that the official that he was appealing to just had his back to him and just didn't see him. Yeah.
And that's why I said I probably would have went out there and, where's the oven mitt when you need it?
Mm-hmm.
And just slid head first.
Just
time out.
That's brilliant, even though he wasn't granted the timeout. Because, coach, sometimes you can't, what do I do here? Sometimes, not being an example, you score, you have a split second to ask for the timeout.
Yeah.
He didn't get it. Yeah. But it wasn't like, do I call timeout here? Oh, too late.
Went straight to it.
Had the presence of mind. Timeout!
Yeah.
Didn't get it, but that's brilliant.
Herb Sendek, good coach, man. Been around for a minute. Yeah, he, unfortunate, and his fellas couldn't finish it in overtime, and they're coming back here to the Bay Area, so it's just tough. Lucky shot continues in overtime, and you take the L.
Now, as far as the morality of tanking and how the Kings should approach the game against the lowly Nets, who scored 24 points in the first half of the game this week, we heard from Skip, who said, people are disingenuous that are in favor of tanking. It's just, what did he say? It's manipulating the results. Well, we have Beam Team making some good points here in the chat. Brother, we want a high draft pick to have a better chance to actually improve. Why are you turning this into a whole moral dilemma? The thing about tanking is you're manipulating the game. Okay, and I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And I've been in that camp, and I still have one foot in there. But I'm just saying, but against the Nets, you know what you'd have to do to try to lose this game? I don't think you want to lower yourself to that, especially in front of your home fans.
You just got standards, man.
There's
That's
a
what I'm
price
saying.
to be paid for doing that.
Yeah, you're not below trying to get some things accomplished, but you're definitely
it's getting ludicrous.
Yeah. I get you. Or you're not above trying to get some things done, but you're definitely not below the fact of you want to lose to the Nets. I get you. I understand you, brother.
Yeah. Hopefully the Nets come out and they're just,
on fire?
Like a house on fire.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine, though. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Dino joining us on Sactown Sports. Hey, Dino, what's up?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Kind of sparked my interest with your previous conversation about the draft positioning and the thought behind it. Now, just because I've got a little bit of a different spin, I'm not going to crush Levine today. It's normally why I call you guys. So because of the vets on the team and the salary cap situation tied to those vets, I honestly think the Kings draft positioning should be more concerned with the adult version of the player that they're taking rather than just the talent. We need somebody who's going to be able to come in and be in a weird space for maybe a season or two until bets are gone. And somebody like Peterson, I don't think he's got it. Now, somebody like DeBanta, if he's there, or Boozer, or I've heard some rather eloquent things about A-Cup and his development. But like you said, this draft pick is going to have that little almost Keeganism. It's like, hey, we just need you to come in and be an adult and let the chips where they fall.
Okay. Thank you, and thanks for not going after Zach. Appreciate that. I think we're all, anybody who agrees with you, we're definitely making some assumptions there. I understand why you're making them, but we're making some assumptions there about all these players, especially Darren Peterson. But it's certainly something to keep in mind. I hadn't really thought about that. If I understand your point being that you want to draft somebody who you know has the mental wherewithal to get through a year or two of some tough sledding. I hadn't even considered that, Jay. I think that's pretty smart.
Yeah, it is, but I'll say this. If the talent doesn't coincide with it, I don't want it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. I mean,
right.
Dino makes a good point there.
Yeah.
You know, for me,
this kid can't shoot a lick and he can't dribble, but he's mentally tough.
Oh, man, I'm talking about concrete, right? Not garter snake mentality, right? Mamba style. I would say and this is kind of goes back to the position of, do you pick position versus the need versus just anyone? Anyone who has the talent for me is the pick. You go for your person, and that even if we need to put them in some mental classes to toughen up the mentality, whatever we need to do. If you think the talent is top level and you think the mind can be worked upon, then you go for that compared to strong mind but weak ability. For me, I don't know, Whitey. I don't know where you stand. Whoever you believe is the perfect, or it could not be perfect, but the best candidate, then that's who you go with.
What if there's a guy at one, whoever it is, I'm not going to say Darren Peterson, whoever it is, and you love the guy, but you can tell he don't really want to come here? Do you say, well, too bad? Like the Jazz did, last year. You say, go, well, you can't go anywhere else, or do you say, we got too much at stake here. We got to get somebody who's on board from the jump. I go, in my mind, like, that's the number one. Maybe he don't want to be here, but he's coming here.
He's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably where I'm going.
If it doesn't work out, we'll spin him off for something else of value.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think if, the Eli Manning situation occurs, and I'd have to really go back and look at it, but I don't remember what the Chargers got for Eli, but you better believe it. I'm picking whoever I feel damn well. I'm not going off what you want me to do.
Just like the Kings, if they'd had a chance to draft Kobe said, I ain't going there. Yeah. What was Jerry Reynolds going to do?
He was going to draft him.
Going to take him.
No matter what.
Yeah.
He was Jeff Petrie, Jerry. They coming. He's coming here. Doesn't matter what he like.
Yes. And Jerry Reynolds is coming here. Jerry Reynolds joins us next. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55-plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Step inside the game you love with the NBA app. Tap to watch every game as it's happening.
Jalen Brunson does it again!
And never miss a moment of the jaw-dropping action. Get closer to the players than anywhere else. Follow the latest schedules, scores, and stats. Keep up with every story from across the league. And with NBA ID, it's all personalized to you. The game lives here. Download today.
Hello, I'm Frank Cockrell with Retirement Security Centers with a weekly economic update. The Federal Reserve held interest rates steady at its latest meeting, continuing a cautious, data-driven approach as it evaluates inflation and economic growth. In its statement, the Fed pointed to moderating but still elevated inflation, along with a resilient labor market. Policymakers emphasized the need for greater confidence inflation is moving substantially towards their 2% target before considering rate cuts. The Fed also highlighted mixed economic signals. Steady consumer spending, but ongoing pressure on interest rate-sensitive sectors like housing and manufacturing. For investors, this higher-for-longer stance means borrowing costs remain elevated, which could weigh on sectors like real estate and small caps, while potentially supporting income-focused investments such as bonds and cash equivalents. At the same time, equity markets may remain sensitive to incoming inflation and jobs data as expectations around future rate cuts continue to shift. Chair Jerome Powell reiterated the Fed is not in a rush, keeping markets focused on what comes next. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Mosaic Wealth, member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
It's Friday. Johnny Mosley here with your Toyota Tower Report. Toyota and I are breaking down the latest weather and mountain updates so you can roll into the weekend fully prepared. Maybe even looking like you planned ahead.
Thanks, Johnny. Friday stays warm and sunny with highs reaching the mid-70s and light westerly winds. Saturday cools slightly to around 70 degrees with a few more clouds moving in. A fantastic weekend to soak up some spring skiing. This report is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
This is the sound of Lucy, staying on top of her spending. You see, even though she's buying a new pair of jeans, she knows that it fits within her monthly budget. Because Wells Fargo will send an alert if her balance drops below her set amount. Yep, nothing gets past Lucy. Or Wells Fargo, for that matter. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
KHD-KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Oh, thanks for being with us. It's just a relief to have got this far today without Alan Stiles. Alan is off today celebrating his birthday, which is tomorrow. Should be back on Monday. So, Jay's been carrying the show, and I appreciate that. Jay, our next guest has done so much for us, for this show, for us personally, and he always shares such incredible insight. It was gratifying for me this week. I was able to share my basketball insight with Coach Reynolds, and for something that he was doing, and I think he said it helped him. I pointed out after the Spurs loss that the Spurs are really, really good, and the Kings are right now are not, and I think that helped him. Here he is. Coach Reynolds, you say that was pretty useful info for you?
It really was. As I said, I didn't want to copy each word. I kind of changed it around for my own benefit, to use it, but it pretty much was the same, and it certainly did seem to be the case, didn't it? There was a clear gap in talent. Mm-hmm. And so, by the way, you said Alan's celebrating his birthday. What is he, 12 years old?
Well, he actually has been celebrating his birthday month, and some people have said, yeah, that's a little, juvenile, if I may.
Holy cow. Man, I've had 82 birthdays. I've been willing to work on all of them.
Well, good for you. You see, some of those old-fashioned scruples, they're just falling by the wayside, Coach.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's kind of load management, really. That's really what that is.
Speaking of the scruples, we have been talking about the game the Kings have coming up Sunday afternoon against the Nets. We know the Nets they're miserable right now. They scored 24 points in the first half recently, I think a couple nights ago, against OKC. Now, I know the Kings benefit from whatever you want to call it, tanking, but I'm just not sure it's worth it in front of your home fans to go as low as you would have to go to put yourself in position to lose to that team, Coach. How would you slice that?
I'd slice it the same way. I mean, I understand really the value of tanking in certain circumstances, but there's a point where you've got to have some integrity. I mean, it's the guys you're trotting out there, you don't want them to give less than their best effort.
Yeah.
And they may be in many cases where they give their best effort and they can't win because they're not good enough. I get that part. In other words, there's no shame in playing the best you can if the other team is better. So it's I don't know. I mean, I kind of go along with the Herm Edwards. You play to win the game. Now, it doesn't mean, like I say, I think with the Kings, the only thing I think is important is that whatever you do with personnel, it should be to make sure you really are playing guys the most that you think will be part of your team, not only next year, but the year after. In other words, take advantage of the circumstance to get, as much development as you can for people you think are going to be part of the solution.
Hey, Jerry, I didn't forgive me if I'm repeating a question from last week. I wasn't here, but what's your whole take on tanking right now? And, Adam Silver out here smacking some of these organizations' hands and disciplining them. What's your thought on tanking and where we're at in the NBA with tanking?
Well, I hate it really, but I also understand it. I think to me, this whole thing is a little bit unusual in the sense that, like Brooklyn and Washington, they knew they were going to be terrible day one. And so they were playing, to the bottom. I mean, now I honestly think Indiana, Utah, and Sacramento really went into the season thinking they were going to be a lot better than they were and are. And so, but at the end of it, you get to a point where it's like where it is now, and it's like, well, what are you playing for? And in truth, you can't deny it. You're playing. I mean, the most important thing now is the draft going forward. Whether you win 22 games or 19, in truth, it isn't as important as the draft itself. And so you have to keep that in mind. And I'm dancing around the question, but I do think that you try the guys you trot out there. You want them to try to win. Now, it's also true that some teams make sure they don't trot out anybody who could help you win. And the Kings haven't done that. I mean, they've played DeRozan and, in particular, a lot of Bennett. And I'd probably be honest, I'd be tempted to cut his minutes significantly against Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's my point as far as Brooklyn. I agree with you, and I think you spoke for a lot of fans. Don't like tanking, but understand the upside. But the thing is, the level you'd have to go to tank against the Nets, it's you'd have to sit players and bring guys up from G League or something. Or I just think you, especially in front of your home fans, you would give up so much in terms of self-respect that you can't do it, Jerry. That's where I think it is.
No, well, no, I get that. I mean, that because really you could get into, a slap fight there in the fourth quarter where basically the guys just take turns throwing it out of bounds, I guess. And that serves nobody. I mean, really, and the fans that have paid a lot of money for their tickets and all that, and they want to see they want to see their guys do well.
Yeah.
And so, really just strictly as a coach, I'd say, I'd try to win the damn game. I'll tell you.
Right.
Now, as a front office person, I might see it a little different. I mean, so there is that. Like I say, you have your standards, and I have my standards, and Jay has his standards. My standards are probably lower than some people's. after seeing, being in the league for 35, 40 years, but still have them, have some of them.
I get to follow up on that. I would say, how would you go about the way some of these teams are going right now? Legend, like, where are you going? Because you have to, especially from the Sacramento Kings perspective, you need a top pick. You need the best pick that you possibly can get. Of course, and I'm saying not reinventing the wheel by saying that, but how do you go about in the front office trying to manipulate the situation knowing that you may get a $500,000 fine?
Or if you don't want to talk about it specificcally in terms of the Kings.
Yeah, no Kings. I'm just saying out of the NBA.
In theory, how would you go about that?
Well, I think you do it just like like the Pacers have done. They make sure Siakam isn't playing in games where he could have a humongous difference, like against the Kings. Now, he may have been hurt. I suspect his injuries were superficial. And like I say, I think that when you look at Utah and Indiana in particular, I think they're experts at that. I don't think the Kings really are, or probably Brooklyn, or with Rick Carlisle and Pritchard, and then of course Danny Ainge, and these guys are they're pretty slick. Okay, they're pretty slick, and they got caught a little bit, but they don't care. And like with the Kings, I just think it's a case where you got some really nice young players that you're not sure just how good they are or how good, and I'd say you just play them as much as you can play them. Mm-hmm. And if they win, that's terrific. You want them to play well, and you can't worry about a draft pick. Then you can't trot Raynaud out there and basically hope he plays terrible or jerk him if he's going good. But I do think you can and manipulate the thing with guys, players that you don't expect to be around next year or the year after. Whether it's Dougie McBuckets or DeMar or Russ. I mean, obviously their situations are a little different. They're going to play hard and play the best they can when they play, but their minutes can go to young guys without, in my mind, really hurting your standards, so to speak.
Gotcha. What do you make, speaking of Max Raynaud, what do you think of all of a sudden he's hitting the 3-ball, Jared?
Yeah, and then, well, he's offensively, he looks like he's really there. I mean, that little quick flip shot he's got around the basket, both right and left-handed, Wembanyama couldn't get to it. Mm-hmm. And I'd say that's a pretty good indicator that he can be effective. Yeah, he's got a chance to be awfully good offensively, and I think his rebounding is pretty good. His defense is really bad, but I think that can be corrected. He's a hard worker. He just, at some point, he's got to understand you just can't stand straight up and guard somebody. Mm-hmm. You might need to bend a little bit
at the knees. Yeah,
bend at the knees and at the hips. Get that center of gravity down there, Whitey. You get a half step quicker if you do that.
I know. I used to see, James Wiseman was not very good defensively, and he'd get his stance and he'd bend over, but he'd bend over at the waist, Jer, and that didn't really do much good. Guys would still go right around you.
Yeah, that was not quite one of the better picks in the history of Warrior Land, was it?
No, it was not.
it's kind of like I always said that reminded me of the pick that the Pistons had when they had a chance to maintain their championship caliber team and took Darko Milicic.
Yeah.
Instead of Dwayne Wade or somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
Carmelo,
Wade, somebody. Yeah.
And that's why one of the fans made a good point about the draft itself. It's like, yeah, well, you can have the first pick and you get Michael Olowokandi and the 10th pick's Paul Pierce. So there's that.
Right.
And a bunch of good ones in between. And I like this draft. I really do. But I think there's, who knows who's going to be the best. I don't think there's a clear number one. I think if there was, it'd be DeBonsa. But, more I watch Acuff, I really like him.
Wow.
I just think he might be, at the position he plays and how well he plays, he might have a lot of impact as a rookie.
Jerry, it's funny you say that because my next question was going to be this. There are tons of Sacramento Kings fans who are tired of seeing point guards being chosen. Sell to the Sacramento Kings an Acuff, Fleming, someone that's going to be another point guard. How do you sell that to the Sacramento Kings fans at the moment?
I would say this. Who do you currently have playing point guard? And what does the future look like there?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if there is a position that needs filled for the future, it's that position. Now that, not to say you wouldn't like a forward or something else, but I mean, with the development of Raynaud and certainly with the trading for Hunter, and Keegan's going to be healthy, and you got Sabonis, who's not old. So, but I mean, with Russ at 37, or whatever, there is no long-term future there. And so last time I checked, you kind of need a quality point guard if you're really going to win games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the great Jerry Reynolds, nice enough to join us. You told us a story once about Jerry Reynolds that I'm reminded of recently as we watch the tournament and talk about these young players and trying to evaluate the prospects. You told us that you asked Jerry West, how do you do it? He said, I look at what a player does well, and then I look at what he doesn't do well and try to figure out if he can be taught that. So my question is, as a scout here, what are, in your experience, the easiest things for a prospect to learn to do, and what really are the toughest, Jared, based on your experience?
Well, probably the easiest are the fundamental skills. You can teach fundamental skills. Doesn't mean everybody will learn them significantly, but improve dribble, improve shooting, improve passing, defensive techniques. All those things are teachable. Mm-hmm. Now, what isn't teachable is the God-given things. Your speed and quickness, your length, your hand-eye coordination, your stamina, those kind of things. And plus, I would say even one other thing, just really competitive spirit. Mm-hmm. I think you can improve it a little, but the Kobe's, the Mamba mentalities, and the Jordans and the Birds and the Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and those guys, they're different. Mm-hmm. I always remember I learned that from talking to Bill Russell. Always said that. He said, I'm not normal. He said, I'm screwed up. There's nothing normal about me. And I think that you can't teach that level of competitive spirit that's the old, does he want to win? And I always remember Larry Bird said once, every player wants to win. He said, what you need is guys who say they need to win. Mm-hmm. And I believe there's a difference there. The difference between the guys that want to hug everybody after the game and as opposed to the guys who will shake a hand and walk off,
Yeah. That's Jay, by the way. Jay's not big on handshakes,
right,
Jay?
Yeah.
No, well, I guess I came along too early, but back in those days, you didn't didn't do anything. You walked off after the game.
Yeah.
You know that's it. You said, hey, you won. Can't screw you.
That's right. There you go. I'm with you, Coach. Maybe I was born into a different era, a different generation.
Well, like I say, I mean, I'm not. I do think it's nice to show sportsmanship, but you just don't need to have a family reunion right after the game.
Hey, this the way I look at it, Coach, is I showed sportsmanship when I came to the competition.
Yeah.
When they both lined us up and said, put a VS in between both of us, that means we were solid. That was sportsmanship right there. I could have forfeited. I could have not showed up. So my sportsmanship is showing up to the court of the field. And then after we play, hey, more power to you, much love, and I'm out of there.
If you won, congratulations. I always felt like when the ball goes up, your personality needs to change. You can pat people on the butt for the game. Ball goes up. You want to beat their butts. That's it. It's just as simple as that. But anyway, that's it's the way I felt and still do, but that's why the kind of the mixed feelings on the tanking thing. It's just gosh, you want to see your team have the best chance to win going forward, and so that does color things a little.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, I should have played for you, man. I should have came over to Rockhurst and got it done. I have two old school questions for you. One, me and Whitey were having a conversation, and Whitey does a great Hubie Brooks. Just anything. Hubie Brown, excuse me, Hubie Brown. Anything that comes to your mind about Coach Brown?
He was a great coach. I always remember, of course, watched him with the Kentucky Colonels at first. But he was really ahead of the game in the NBA at the time with all of his traps and things he did defensively. Really when he came to the league, guys were just kind of like, okay, he's your man, guard him type thing. But he really was quick to get the defensive rotations, double team in the post, double off the high pick and roll stuff. I mean, he was just ahead. And then also he was the first guy, coach I can remember, did have a 10-man rotation and played them all pretty much the same amount. And of course, 2/3 of them were unhappy. But, the truth is that the talent was such. And so he'd get, 6-8 more wins out of the talent than just about anybody else. Wow. So, I'd talked to him a few times, and he's he's walking basketball dictionary. I think really probably he and Larry Brown might be the really just top of the line coaches now. They're both goofy to a degree too. There ain't nothing normal about Larry. I love the guy, but I mean he'd trade. I always remember Donnie Walsh at Indiana. Of course, that was his best friend. He said that was the only guy that general manager ever had that didn't want to kill him. Because he'd want to trade everybody every week.
It makes sense. The follow-up for me is, of course, I've been hung up on the Soul Power over the last couple of weeks, which is the ABA documentary. But I've kind of
Jerry watched that.
Of course, I already know. He knows the game of ABA, right? The Soul Power. But I fell down a few rabbit holes, and I was looking at a lot of the players in the 70s, and one of the players, Hall of Famer, great, known as probably one of the top guys, but I feel like he's forgotten a little bit, is Wes Unseld. NBA champion in 78, 12-time NBA champ, multiple, all kind of awards. What's your thoughts on Wes Unseld and where he fits in the game?
Well, he is one of the all-time greats. Different. I mean, he wasn't a great offensive player, didn't try to be, but he made teams win. When he, as a rookie, he was not only Rookie of the Year, I think he's MVP.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that, like we talk about here in the draft, he's one of those guys that went to a team and made them a lot better. Mm-hmm. They were a good team before, and he made them a championship caliber team. And that's one of the reasons why tanking is pretty good if you get a Wes Unseld. But he was he was probably the best I've ever seen, at the outlet pass. I mean, Kevin Love's terrific and all that, but West he could chest pass at 90 feet, just busted down there. And I saw him in college a lot at University of Louisville, quite a few games. And, it's maybe 6'8". And he's such a nice man. I mean, I really got pretty close to him through the years, and just being a Louisville guy and everything. But he was just a truly nice man, except kind of like what we were talking about, Jay. When the ball went up, he wasn't nice. I mean, when he set screens, they stayed screened. There are guards that would run a banana cut around him. So, those are the kind of things I remember. It's like, holy cow, man, he brings some bells, boy.
Man.
Coach, before we let you go, I wanted to ask you about the Kentucky-Santa Clara game today. Crazy finish where Santa Clara scores on a 3 with seconds left. Coach Sendek's trying to call a timeout. He doesn't get the timeout called, and then Kentucky inbounds, and Owe hits a 50-foot or whatever, banks it in. They go to overtime. Kentucky wins. I know some people on social media said right away, oh, well, Santa Clara should have fouled after they hit the 3. Just what do you think of that as somebody who's done this at the highest level?
Well, that's pretty risky, anymore, because players are so adept at once they get into the shooting motion, if it looks like they're going to be fouled.
Yeah.
And I really wouldn't second guess anything there. It was a lucky deal.
Well, you'll be proud to know that Jay and I agreed with you. We both said the same thing. We've said
that it's so easy to second guess after the fact. I don't know. He should have known they're going to hit a 50-footer.
Bank it in. Yeah.
So March Madness is just that, and that's you're seeing some upsets already, and hated to see DeBonsa go out the other night, but I knew he would. He's kind of playing by himself, but just be interesting to. I'm looking forward to seeing Peterson play. I know what I'm going to try to have an open mind, although it really isn't very open.
Well, he's top 3 for you still, isn't he? Top 4?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, you have Acuff ahead of him now, don't you?
I got Acuff and Boozer and DeBonsa.
Wow, okay.
Coach, real fast before we let you go, because I think Boozer, after Peterson, I think people are enamored with Peterson's situation and don't know what's really going on. But I believe most people feel that they have, have it written in stone and foundation who Boozer is. What's your take on what Boozer is right now and trying to prognosticate what he could be down the road?
Yeah, I think he is maybe the NBA-ready player of all of them, because he doesn't, other than he's not a great athlete. But it's like, how great athlete is Joker? Or Luka Doncic. He's skilled like that. He has no weaknesses. He can really pass, and he's strong. Now he really gets some shots blocked in this league, maybe, but he's a good 3-point shooter. Like I say, I really think he's kind of like Kevin Love was, and it's about his second or third year. When Kevin went through about 6-7 years in a row where he was 21 points and 14 rebound guy, and an all NBA player. I see Boozer several years ahead of that, and so anyway, I don't think whoever drafts Boozer is really going to be happy. I think for 10, 12 years, you know what I mean? He may not be the best, but nobody's going to feel bad about getting him, and because he's going to. Like I say, that then the other thing that strikes me about him, and now they got injuries, so I don't know what they're going to do long term. But with Boozer as the main guy, they were number 1 ranked team in the country, and that's after losing the 2 top rookies in this current year in Knuppel and Flagg.
Yeah.
So So I just think that tells you something, doesn't it?
It does. It does. And you always tell us a lot, Coach. Thank you as always. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
Well, I'm going to have one, and really I'm going to try to help Alan celebrate his friggin' birthday too. Geez, get him back to work, would you?
All right, we're working on it. Thank you, Jerry.
All right, see you guys.
When we come back, speaking of prospects, there's some talk that the Pacers would pick this guy number 1, which is a bit of a surprise. Who we talking about? We'll tell you when we come right back. Drive Guys, Friday, Sactown Sports.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
At quarterback, calling the right play could change the whole game. And when your car breaks down, same idea. Make the right call before the big repair bill hits. CarShield helps protect you from expensive auto repairs. Plans include 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, and rental car options, all to keep your drive alive. Look, breakdowns happen, but choosing CarShield, that's the easiest call you'll make all day.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-777-1225.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles on Sactown Sports 1140.
Yeah, Alan's celebrating his birthday. It's great having Jerry Reynolds on. I guess I'm a little surprised, Jed, and I appreciate it and respect the hell out of it. I didn't know Coach was going to go after Alan that way. I'm glad he did, frankly.
Yeah.
I'm glad somebody did.
Well, it would take Jerry to do it, right?
Yeah.
Like, who's gonna say anything about Jerry? But we probably should have told the legend about Allen going to Napa for a bachelor party. And I know Jerry's been married for a very long time, but I'm pretty sure if he had a bachelor's party or if his friend group wanted to throw him one, I'm pretty sure Napa wouldn't have been high on their list at the time.
I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't guess so.
Yeah.
Nothing against Napa.
No.
I grew up right next door to Napa.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just
Come
down
on,
the
brother.
road.
Where you from?
Living it up in Vallejo, California.
That's right.
That's it, baby.
You just take 37. Is it 37 that goes?
Yes, 37.
Yeah. 339-1140, 1-800-920.
Petaluma style.
Yeah. Oh, Petaluma. How about Joseph on Sactown Sports? Thanks for hanging, Joseph. What's up?
Hi, guys. Good afternoon. How we doing?
Good. Thank you for hanging.
Good. So, question I got in. This is kind of, I'm hoping it's not a more of a deja vu type thing. Is, several years back, there was a top prospect that was expected to go number 1 or 2, and the Kings ended up getting, I think, if I remember, it was the 5th pick. And everyone was so high on Thomas Robinson, and the Kings ended up taking him, and obviously that player failed. I'm kind of wondering, if that does happen, do the Kings decide to take the best player available or the best player they think is going to work best with their team that they're growing up with?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
What do you think about that, Jet? Thank you, Joseph. I know we were touching on that earlier.
Yeah. Boy, I see. I like how you threw that on my plate. I would say
I'm just looking something up. I'll be right there for you.
I would say this. Please, if anybody from the Sacramento Kings organization or surrounding extended family and is listening, do not repeat the same mistake that you did with Thomas Robinson, which basically means you don't take a player that you didn't work out. You don't take a player that was supposedly going number 1 or 2, player of the year, had all the pageantry, and all of a sudden start to fall down the draft board.
Yeah.
And you didn't do any research on that player for the most part.
They didn't do their due diligence. They did not. Pardon me, because they didn't think he'd be there. Yeah. So my understanding.
And so there's a reason why he fell down the board. And if you hadn't done your research, your due diligence, you should have just went ahead and passed on that too. So I'm hoping and I'm knowing that Scott Perry, B.J. Armstrong, Paul, Doug Christie, everybody over there is a little sharper than that. The end of the ballpoint pen is a little bit sharper than that. And if you don't do your due diligence on a prospect and they continue to fall down the board, just let them go.
Yeah.
Keep moving.
2012 draft. Anthony Davis first, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist second.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah, Bradley Beal third, Dion Waiters fourth, and then the Kings with the 5th pick. And then it's like, whoa.
Come on, man.
I have been told that, it was simply a matter of we didn't think he'd be there. We have to take him.
Yep.
Thomas Robinson. So then Dame Lillard to Portland.
Dang.
HB to the Warriors. Terrence Ross 8th. Andre Drummond 9th pick in that draft.
Okay.
Yeah. Jeremy Lamb was the 12th pick in that draft. So, yeah, you're right. That was an unfortunate turn there for the Kings.
Yeah, don't repeat the same mistake. There's a reason why history is taught in school.
Mm-hmm.
It's to know where you came from, is to know where you're going, but it's also to let you know that don't repeat that same mistake.
Jay, those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
How about this? This is from Jake Fisher. Says, no one in the NBA that I've consulted projects any sort of dramatic draft night fall for either Peterson or Boozer. When it comes to Boozer, in fact, there is a sentiment among some rival teams that the Duke star would be Indiana's preferred selection, even if the Pacers were to come away with the number 1 overall pick because of his potential fit alongside Pascal Siakam and newly acquired Ivica Zubac. Jake Fisher. Now, again, he's citing a sentiment among rival teams. Who are we talking about? So that is a little vague, but yeah, some teams think that, if the Pacers get the first pick, they might take Cam Boozer.
Doesn't surprise
number 1.
me. Doesn't surprise me because I tell you this, Whitey, and I don't remember who just called and talked about taking a fit versus a need.
I know. That's
right?
why I was trying to thank him and say, you were right. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember his name.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So you're good. I think it's spot on.
Good call.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's one of those things where if you're the Indiana Pacers, you know Ty Halliburton's your starting point guard. You know Pascal Siakam is your 3, and you know Zubats, who is done for the year, is your center. So in retrospect, you're looking, you got Nembhard, you got a couple other guys there.
Mm-hmm.
You're really looking for a 4 and a 2 to compare. And you're really not looking for a 2, but you're really looking for a 4. So is AJ the 4? Maybe not. Maybe not on your watch. But I think that would be a pick of we need a power forward.
Mm-hmm.
We need someone for the next 4 years to be at the position of number 4, and we believe Cam is that guy versus just give me the best player and I'm going to put him in wherever I can.
Yeah. Well, bear with me here. I have some numbers here.
Okay.
These are the odds. But if you're a person who is against tanking, then I think I know which way you're going here. Indiana, if they end up with the best lottery odds, and it looks like they're on track for that, they would have a 14% chance of getting the first pick, 13.4% chance of getting the second pick, 12.7% of getting the third pick, 12% chance of getting the fourth pick, and a 47.9% chance of getting the fifth pick. So almost a 50% chance of getting the fifth pick. If Indiana draws the fifth pick, they lose it. It goes to the Clippers.
Bye-bye.
So I know a lot of people that are against all this tanking hope that that's what they get.
Yep.
For all their tanking.
Would love.
You get nothing.
Would love to see it. Would love to see it. Because, sometimes you take solace in the fact of other teams doing bad when your squad is doing bad. Just a little hate. A little sports hate.
Mm-hmm.
But also when you're manipulating the game, when you're manipulating the settings, as we like to call them.
Yeah.
Sometimes you deserve to take a blow that you did, a negative blow.
Yeah.
So I'm with that.
Now then the Clippers would get it.
Yeah.
But then the commissioner will come in and strip them of that.
Yep.
And nobody will have the first one.
Well, pass it this way. We'll take it.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
It would be beautiful. Wouldn't that be fantastic?
It would.
If the Clippers got the pick, Pacers finish out the top 4. They finish 5th, 6th, whatever. Then they send it to the Clippers. Adam Silver says, "Oh, because you guys been planting mysterious trees, we're gonna take 3 number 1 picks.
Yeah,
and this one counts, and you're not gonna get it. So it just moves on.
Yeah,
and then it would just be fantastic.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Commissioner, you know who wasn't tanking when everyone said we should?
Send them our way.
You're right. There you go.
What
Scott Perry,
I wonder, could you do this? What happens if that plays out? The Clippers get the pick, and it's the third pick. It's called third pick, and you're getting, or excuse me, it'd be third pick. Get the third pick, and Silver says we're going to take it, but then the Clippers say, you know what? We're going to trade it. Could you trade it? And then now you're going to get pennies to the dollar. Because you're going to get it removed anyway.
Huh. Woo. No, because you couldn't trade it because the league would say it's not yours to trade. We're stripping it.
Yeah. We're taking it.
You don't. It's not yours to trade.
But couldn't the 29th pick in the first round try to trade up and then you trade back? Well, you're losing the 29th pick, but I wonder if they could do that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a good point. It's not yours, so you can't trade it.
Right.
Maybe the league says, remember the league took over the Pelicans for a year or 2 years or whatever because they were looking for ownership groups.
Well, that's when Commissioner Stern said
owned it
to the Chris Paul trade.
Yeah, because he was like, we don't own, but we're going to operate.
Right.
Charlotte or New Orleans, excuse me. Right.
Yeah.
So what happens if they do that? Well, you know what? Send us your best deal to the league. I don't know, Whitey. I'm looking for something here, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to figure out how the Kings can manipulate their way back into another pick in the first round.
Well, hopefully by Monday we'll have that. We'll have that all figured out.
Okay.
And we'll share it with you.
All right.
Yeah. When we come back, opening day, 6 days away. So we look at the number 6 and some other eye-popping numbers that have baseball smiling. Next, Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.
Touchdown 49ers! Every game on your number 1 sports station. Don't miss the action on your local sports leader. Sactown Sports.
20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at pepsipromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of PepsiCo Inc.
Hey, John. Why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-791-0000. That's 800-791-0000.
Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles on Sactown Sports 1140.
We got Kansas opening tournament play for Darren Peterson and Flory Badunga and the rest of them against Cal Baptist. Jay, I mean no disrespect. I don't think I've ever heard of Cal Baptist.
Really?
It's in Riverside, right?
Yes.
Honestly, I'm just being honest. I don't know that I have ever heard of that.
They were a NAIA school.
Oh, yeah?
For a while, yes. Yeah, down there, and they played,
They're the Lancers. I had to look it up. The Cal Baptist Lancers.
Yeah. Trying to think, did we play them one time? We might have played them one time. Yeah. But, yeah, I'm familiar.
I've heard of Cal Lutheran.
Cal Lutheran down there, Azusa Pacific.
Yeah.
Like, they were all NAI schools. Occidental was another school out there. Laverne, the Masters, which I believe is in Santa Clarita, had a beautiful turf field. Like, we went down there 1 year or 2 years or something and played a bunch of those LA schools.
Isn't there this isn't, I think it's further south, UC or Cal State, like Santa Domingo or something?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Santa Dominguez, I believe, right?
Okay.
Santa Dominguez. Yeah, there's Santa Dominguez is in Carson?
Oh, okay.
Or Dominguez, yeah. Dominguez, what is it? UC Dominguez, I think. I think it's in Carson.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I pushed you down into that rabbit hole without knowing what I was talking about. But I just didn't know there was a Cal Baptist. So,
yeah, Cal State Dominguez Hills.
Cal State.
In Carson.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in Carson.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be pulling for Darren Peterson, but I'll also be pulling for the Lancers. Let's go. 13 over 4.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, there are some good baseball teams down there.
I'll bet.
That playing NAIA, around that time. So, hey, shouts out to Cal Bap stepping on up.
Yeah.
Elevating themselves to D1.
Cal
Bap.
Go Cal. Speaking of baseball, 6 days away till opening day. 5 days till opening night. 6 days away till opening day. So we look at the number 6. Well, you have Marcus Stroman. Number 6.
Okay.
Anthony Rendon. I remember I was opening some cards, I don't know, a year and a half ago, and I got an Anthony Rendon game used something. I thought, man, that's got to be extremely rare. A game used Anthony Rendon anything.
I just thought about that.
Man, this has got to be worth something.
When he What was it? He was on the special run with the Nationals, right?
Yes.
And then he
Earned
blew
that
up,
big
went up to the
contract.
Angels.
Yeah.
And he just never played. Like
I don't think he wanted to.
Man.
Yeah.
Dang.
I think he even said at one point, I don't really like
A game worn, a game used Anthony Raynaud.
Extremely rare. Roy White, Tony Oliva.
Okay.
Steve Garvey.
Okay.
Man, I remember I said hi to Steve Garvey once, and I was covering spring training, and he was in the Padre dugout. And I was like, there's Steve Garvey. I went up to get an interview, and he was like, how are you? What's your name? Kevin. Yes. Okay. Sit down and let's talk. And I realized then he's running for something already. He was in the Padre dugout. He was trying to get my vote then.
Right then and there?
Yes.
He was trying to get you on board.
You know, baseball players are, yeah, well, all right, go ahead. But he was like, oh, hello. How are you?
It's cordial.
Yeah. Al Kaline.
Ooh, that's a good name.
Mm-hmm. Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Stan the Man Musial.
Okay.
A legend has it, my dad wanted to name me after Stan Musial. My mom said,
no way.
Not happening.
Mom's a Dodger fan.
Yeah. The most interesting is Joe Torre's number 6 was retired by the Yankees. However, Joe Torre as a player never wore number 6.
Right.
It was as a manager.
Right.
I bet you he's the only one. I would think he might be the only one in baseball history who was a player manager whose number is retired as a manager, but not one that he wore as a player.
Which he deserves as a manager, right?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, man, that's bleak. Give him to me one more time real fast.
Marcus Stroman.
Yep.
I know you're partial to Anthony Rendon.
Of course.
Roy White.
Okay.
Tony Oliva, Steve Garvey,
Okay.
Joe Torre, the manager, Al Kaline, and Stan the Man.
Give me Al Kaline.
Okay.
I'll take Al. Al with the 6.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Stan's numbers are, what's the word I'm looking for?
They're incredible.
They are.
Yeah.
But do they leave something for you to be like, I don't know.
I don't know, just because for me, they're like, it was like an era of baseball where I don't know anything about it.
Don't know a lot about it, yeah.
Yeah, because he was at the 40s and the 50s into the 60s. Started in 1941, and his last year was 1963.
He played a long time, right? Yeah.
He did. Yeah. Boy, I bet if Skip's listening right now, he said, you better respect Stan the Man.
I'm not 100%. Does Stan go to war?
Let's see. Did not play military service 1945.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So he wasn't one
also,
of those guys.
how many hits, Jay? 3,000.
I'm going to say
630.
Man, that's a lot of hits.
Yeah, 725 two-base hits.
Man.
As well. For Stan the Man.
He's a beast.
You're going to Al Kaline, huh?
Yeah, I'm going Al Kaline. just because I just don't know.
175.
I know, man. He's a beast. Just because the damn Yankees got everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Something about Stan, Maris. There's some other guys.
Well, he wasn't a Yankee.
I know,
okay,
but he's a Cardinal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
The Yankees had everybody during that time. And when you look at everyone around them, it feels like everything revolves around the Yankees of the 40s and the 50s. It's like, they're the moon and we're just revolving around the sun, or they're the sun and we're revolving around the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at other people's numbers, and I know it's a funny way of looking at it, it's like how many good players were playing on other teams that the Yankees didn't want? You get what I'm saying?
I think so.
Like why would Stan Musial not be on a Yankee?
That's a good question. I don't know the answer, but I'm going to bring you over to Stan's side. And look, I know this was a long time ago, and we'll move on here, but I'm going to convince Jay that Stan was the man. You love batting average, right?
Yeah, he is heck of a batting average.
20 years old, 1941. He played 12 games. He had 426. Next year, age 21, 315. Next year, 357, 347. Then he had to go into the Army.
Right.
Comes back, it's 365, 312. 376,
man, that
338, 346.
Yeah, you're right. You're
now,
right.
the only problem is, and this is fair to point out,
fell off on the back end.
Well, the game wasn't integrated.
Yeah, well, you already know that where I stand on that.
Right,
yeah.
right. But then even when it was
But he played for
integrated-
so long post-integration.
Right.
So
1957, he had 351. So
dang, that long? And he's still – what's his career average? About 340, 350?
331, 22 years.
Man, that's a long time to play and be balling.
Yeah.
You're right. Stan the man. He's the man.
Okay.
Yeah, he's probably. I was arguing against
Well,
myself.
Kaline's no slouch.
Yeah, no, but he's not Stan. Stan was a heck of a hitter. No doubt about it. It's always funny when you're talking about like the 30s and the 40s and the 50s for me when it becomes, and I'm not saying the Yankees had to have everybody because I can't stand that they had that many people, but it feels like guys who didn't play for the Yankees for whatever reason, when you're like the Yankees could have, if they want to Stan, they probably could say, you know what, we want him. Like, why don't you want Stan
I think
Musial?
that was way before the draft, so I don't know how they. Yeah.
Well, they manipulate the game, brother. They
Yeah.
got Babe Ruth.
But also, they didn't know there's scouts were really important in because they'd go somewhere and see
True.
somebody that literally other teams didn't know was there.
Very true.
Totally different than it is now.
Very true, yeah.
Yeah.
Just put it on film.
Yeah.
It's in the highlight.
Reading stories about the early days of the NFL draft where teams would call up athletic directors. They'd get like magazines and look them up and go, we're going to draft that guy. And the Steelers draft some guy once, and then they have a party to introduce him to everybody. And then they're having the party, and like one of the scouts meets the guy and has to go up to the owner and say, this guy is not a football player, just so you know. I guess he's really little or something. It's like, yeah, we can't, just so you know, it happens. But he's not even a football player.
Yeah, he's not that guy.
Yeah.
Man, that's interesting.
Yeah. Let me close with this, Jay.
Go
Who's
ahead,
right? Yeah. This is from De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox on why it's hard to watch college basketball from 3 years ago. The shot making is not at the pro level. The refs are bad. A lot of coaching is really